MLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Lewis at the Capital Oyster Bar, and I just want to tell you, if you're in business or got an event coming up and want to do some advertising, wisely spent dollars are spent down here at Blue Water Broadcasting. All the guys are nice, easy to work with, and I see results, I guarantee you.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play.
Shut up, silly woman. After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
It's all Fugazi. You know what Fugazi is?
Fugazi. It's a fake.
Yeah, Fugazi, Fugazi. It's a woozy, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real. Right?
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show, and Montgomery still needs a new mayor. Normally we'd have Erica Thomas, but she's stuck at a luncheon. I'm sure she's so happy about that. Who's ever had a good time at a luncheon, by the way? Not to knock people, that's your main vehicle of business or getting to know folks, but I've never enjoyed myself at a luncheon or really at any of these dinners. Now, it's not just the GOP dinners I've gone to. It's a lot of libertarian conference stuff. Whatever there's like plates and knives and forks and spoons and clinking of glasses and other various cutlery with the plates and stuff. You can't hear the people talking. Everybody's focused on the food. How am I supposed to listen to Tucker Carlson when I've got cheesecake in front of me? Anyway, Eric Tom's stuck at a luncheon. And if she needs an excuse, she's welcome to jump in on this. But welcome into the program. Troy Carrico should join us in just a moment. Oh, so there have been new strikes on Iran, hitting the crap out of Iran. This is to be expected after months now of this. We're negotiating, but who's actually in charge in Iran? Who's actually controlling things there in Iran? Who can make the deal in Iran? Or are the Revolutionary Guard really just yearning for martyrdom? I think a lot of them are, in fact, yearning for martyrdom. And apparently more attacks are coming. There were new attacks last night, a bunch of Tomahawk cruise missiles heading right directly into Iran, hitting them hard. But then Trump coming out with this earlier today. And this had been previewed months ago, I believe, by the Wall Street Journal, suggested by a few other people. But it looks like, well, Trump's making a big move, saying the United States will be hitting Iran, whose Navy, Air Force, radar, anti-aircraft, and all other forms of defense, together with most of its offensive capability, are gone. The United States will be hitting Iran very hard tonight. At some point in the not-too-distant future, we will be taking Karg Island and other oil infrastructure points and assume total control of their oil and gas markets, much like we have with Venezuela, which is working out brilliantly for both Venezuela and the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So we're just going to take over their oil facilities. I mean, how long are we going to hold it? In perpetuity until all the crazies die? Maybe this ends it. But I have a sense that even if you hit them really hard and you take Karg Island and you control their oil and gas markets completely, I have a sense that religious zealots are going to continue to be religious zealots. And if they're inevitably going to die, they're going to take a lot of people with them. And maybe this is the way it was always going to end as soon as this war began. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Could be they cry uncle all of a sudden, you very swiftly get more reasonable people in there. Maybe there are more reasonable people already at the negotiating table with the United States from Iran, and they just need the cover to actually go ahead and make a deal, while a lot of the radicals end up dead. But here's Trump this morning talking to Fox and Friends. Don't you love sipping your coffee, looking at all that caked on makeup on Brian Kilmeade? I mean, I certainly love it. Now, I think Ainsley's lovely, but Kilmeade. And what is it about men in their 50s and up? Like, if you're going to be on TV, you just got a cake on the makeup. Just wear your wrinkles proudly as the weathered fella you are. It's more distinguished that way. Why you got to put on makeup and stuff? Fake it. Like you're a woman or something. It doesn't make any sense. Or you're on Broadway or something. This ain't the Tony Awards. Just be a man. Be on TV. Stop it with the powder. Anyway, here's the president on the phone talking to Fox and Friends this morning.
It could be the greatest deal in history. They could wave the white flag of surrender. They could say, we surrender, we're finished, we've had it. The United States is the greatest power. Praise be to Allah. And they could do all of this. They could say it loud and clear, and the fake news would say it was a great victory for Iran. I mean, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. We're killing them. It's killing them. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. You know, we're flying planes over the middle of Tehran, and they have no idea what we're there. We've knocked out all of their radar, all of their anti-aircraft. Much of their missiles, they have probably less than 20%. We think about 20%. Most of their launchers, they have the missile launchers, which are quite important. Their drone capacity is way down. You see it. I mean, it's way down. Their attacks are very minor. They're finished. And yet, the fake news, just like with the election, the fake news is out there saying, wow, Iran is doing just so well. Trump is doing terribly. I watched it yesterday, one of the shows for 5 minutes. Haven't seen the show in a long while. This fake Joe Scarborough talking about how well Iran is doing. I'm saying, where do they come from? It's just the craziest thing. Yeah. And behind the scenes, I will tell you, they won't even dispute it, although they probably would because it makes sense. They're very good. Iran is very good at publicity, but they're not good at fighting. But I took a look, and I must tell you, they can't believe the press they're getting. They can't even believe it. Yeah. And they told me, they said, it's amazing how well we're doing in the papers. We're not doing so well. They're negotiating with us to make a deal.
Well, Mr. President,
it's hard for them because they are proud. They're very proud.
We know
They've been the bully of the Middle East for 47 years.
Yeah, they have.
They've been ripping off our presidents and other countries for years. They played Obama for a fool.
Hey, Fox and Friends folks, just let the president talk. Stop it with trying to move the interview along. When you sign up for Donald J. Trump, our president, to have him on your show, you ask one question and let him monologue. Let him give a soliloquy if he wants. He can quote Macbeth or Hamlet. I don't care. Just let the man go and do what he needs to do. You ain't leading squat. You ain't the leader of the free world. Just let the man talk. Stop trying to interrupt him. He's making a point. He's doing the weave. Just a quick advice for Fox and Friends. But here is Trump continuing.
POA is the worst, one of the worst deals I've ever seen, other than NAFTA, the NAFTA trade deal, which was maybe the worst deal ever made.
Mr. President.
But the JCPOA was a road to a nuclear weapon. Mine is a road to no nuclear weapon.
Right.
They can't have a nuclear. It says you cannot have a nuclear weapon. We will not have. And I didn't like it. It wasn't strong enough because it said develop. You cannot develop. I said, no, I want buy also. So they fought me on that for a day, and then they agreed to it. You cannot develop or purchase a nuclear weapon. You know, so it's we got everything, but the press just covers it so crazily. They
Don't worry about it.
No matter what I do, the press will say it was a great victory for Iran. These people are crazy.
Mr. President.
It's Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, Mr. President.
I think he's making the good point. He's driving home what has been, well, a main wedge issue for him since the beginning, since he came down the golden escalator. And you could say that Trump has bad policies. You could say that he's not presidential enough. He can still be tooting that horn. It could be you're a commie, a socialist. It could be you're just kind of a normal American, and you're like, I don't get the whole zeal for Trump. But you got to admit, in particular, how Donald John Trump has beat up the corporate press and completely changed the game when it comes to getting a message out with the aid then of Elon Musk, especially in 2024, taking over X. Yeah, they need to be called out. They will continue to be called out. And the other corporate media folks there on Fox and Friends need to let the man speak. Mr. President, let him finish his point. I don't care, again, if he wants to quote Coriolanus or whatever the name of that Shakespearean play is. Coriolanus. Is it Coriolanus? Okay. Well, I think I'm saying it wrong. Anyway. But that's an epic. It's an epic play about soldiers and democracy. And, I kind of woke up on this side of the bed this morning where, with all the campaigning going on and we're getting down to crunch time and should we pray for the return of kings? Because this is just sad. Is this really what self-government is? Receiving a text at 10 o'clock at night? With Oppo research dumped in your lap? That some guy who's making way too much money for that sort of dark arts is souped up? Is that self-government? Are people being manipulated one way or the other? Is that self-government? I don't know. There's times where I go, I'm the same guy I've been for years. I've mellowed out a little bit. But as we get down to it and things get more negative and just nasty, where things that are, I think, obvious are continually questioned and suspicions raised. You can't trust so-and-so. So-and-so's a rhino. So-and-so lied about his record. So-and-so kills puppies and laughs about it. Well, I don't know who's been accused of that, but that'd be something. Actually, that's probably the folks up there in D.C. who got the gig, who work up the dark arts. How do you think they get all the information, all that occult knowledge? Anyway, just my little rant for the day. Woke up on that side of the bed, just what are we even doing here? Let's vote already. Let's just get it over. Let's do an early snap election, right now. Let's not wait till Tuesday. Anyway, welcome into the program. But it looks like we'll see. Where is the Iran situation going to go? Strong statement taking Carg Island. That is a very strong statement. Troy Carrico joining me in the studio now. And my only question is, okay, we do that. How long does it take? Do we take Carg Island, we take over their oil and stuff, so they're then choked off, and now we get a regime we can work with? Or
I think what the end state is to basically decapitate what little economic engine they have. My concern is this, though. I'm still not convinced that we have suppressed their entire drone and their attack capabilities. When you put troops on an island, it's very hard to defend.
Now, can we get a different angle on this, though? How many of those, like, amphibious units, like those Marines, have been waiting for, what, months now?
They've been on board.
What's it like in that room?
So I have actually been on the USS Tripoli when I was a Ranger with Marines in a expeditionary force. And sometimes you'll set for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just bobbing in the water. And it's in a bit, these are little baby aircraft carriers, essentially is what they are. They're called amphibious assault ships. They have the ability to launch fighter craft, light bombers. It's a really neat concept. It's a smaller aircraft carrier, but it's always got a contingent of Marines on it for deployment onto land. It gets you start, you shoot your weapons from the deck of you're doing some training fire. It gets a little bit monotonous on the
cabin
boat.
fever.
Yeah. And it's no matter how big the ship is, it's not big enough ever.
I always think of that Muppets movie where they start singing about "I've got cabin fever," and I hope the Marines ain't singing and dancing.
No, they don't do talent shows like that.
Yeah, this isn't the Biden administration.
No, it's not. Yeah. So, but they will do the ancient order of the Shellback.
The Shellback.
Oh yeah.
The ancient order.
I'm a member of the Shellback.
What is that? Can you talk about it publicly?
It's the Mysteries of the Deep of Davy Jones Locker, and it is a passage through. Once you cross the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, you get different rankings. And it's for sailors that are crusty and salty.
Cool.
And if you're military, any military, if your Army can get it too, if you're on board the boat. And I got this scroll shell. I'll bring it in one day. It's got like King Neptune naked mermaids and it's kind of still it's kind of cool. And it says in there, disobey these. It's got a whole list. It goes to all you landlubbers and everything. And it says Mr. Carrick or Troy Carrick, Major Carrico has crossed over my realm at this time. And if you disobey any of our orders, it'll be at our royal displeasure. And let me tell you about the hazing that goes on, but I can't really tell you about a lot of it. But just suffice it to say, at the end, there's this big. It's usually a black person that's really fat, and they put a cherry in their belly button, and he's King Neptune, and you got to go eat it out of his belly button. And
I was wondering if there's some weird frat boy like hazing.
They're hitting you with hoses. They're greasing you up and grease. Now that's the Navy fun. That's just fun in the Navy. That's what they do.
That's fun in the
We
Navy.
don't do that in your Army, but I've seen it. I was like,
don't tell the ranking officer because this actually is frowned upon.
The ranking officer's right there with you. Yeah. And the thing about it.
I mean, like, no, I'm in on it too.
That never happened.
Yeah.
You want to go
what are you
camping?
talking about?
Want to go camping?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, so I'm sure there's some guys rearing to go.
They're ready to roll. They're ready to roll. I think.
But your point about the drone operations and sitting ducks on an island.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very real. It's a very real consideration. I'm not certain that we have. Listen. When you're on a small patch of land and you have all these small drones that sometimes we can't pick up very well, it could get bad. It could get bloody. But I think they're at the end of their command and control rope. So I think that we'll take Kark Island. I think what we're going to do is choke off the finances because right now my understanding is they're still behind paying the IRGC members. It isn't going to take long. The bigger question is this, Joey. Okay, so we take all that. How are we going to knock out and I think you're going to see a series of strategic hits on key leadership, key nodes that's left over with the Israelis. And then I think maybe we'll get an uprising. We'll see.
We will see. But at this point, are we surprised that this is the action that needs to be taken?
It's mismanaged. It's been a debacle, in my opinion. But so,
I'm still sitting here wondering, am I saying Coriolanus right there? I said it right there.
Coriolanus.
Coriolanus.
Yeah, it's a very not a known, not
Have
a
you
well
seen the
known.
remake, the movie version of it with Gerard Butler? And it's like, it's set with modern warfare.
I like that. Like Campbell.
It's like essentially they took a lot of stuff from the, say, War on Terror,
I gotta look at
that era, and it's pretty intense fighting and action, and then very true, doesn't try to update the language, very true, and Ralph Fiennes is in it.
Oh man, that's good.
Or Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe.
Yeah, and he's fantastic. He is Coriolanus in that movie.
Cool.
And then Gerard Butler is the other, his rival.
Is a
that he goes
or antagonist or whatever.
Yeah, I forget. After the people in the tribunes turn the people in the
That's
crowds
right.
against this war hero, he goes and joins the enemy he very fought.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a very
it's a heck of a play.
It's not a lot of people know that one for Shakespeare. It's really good though.
Well, and it's also not exactly the most liberal of plays, because he's kind of calling out like the nonsense of democracy and like how people are manipulated and stuff.
Yeah. Well, are you telling me that? Are you telling me that our votes don't count? Are you telling me that people?
No, votes count. No, votes count.
Yeah.
I'm not going that far. I think your vote counts. I think votes. There's a reason all this money and all this time and attention and talent and energy is spent on winning votes, culling votes, like polling how many people are going to vote, where are those people going to vote? Like, it counts because that's the name of the game.
Yes.
But the way you get those votes, sometimes it's just not it doesn't seem like dignified self-government.
I would say that, yes.
Like we're agrarian farmers who believe in little on Republican values because we've read our Cicero and our Montesquieu.
Cincinnatius will put his plow away and save the city. Here's the thing. I think all votes count. Some just count a lot more when you're stuffing the boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, tomorrow we should be interviewing, I think at 1:35, push it back a little bit, Jared Hudson.
Yeah,
and I'm
Jared.
tempted to tell him, like, Jared, I hate this, man. Not y'all's particular race, just this. Like, we're getting into crunch time. It just seems a little...
nasty.
A little dirty.
Nasty.
Yeah, and maybe, you're in a fight, you can't worry about getting some mud on your face and some drawing a little bit of blood. But there's also part of me that's like, man, this is just sad.
Some statements were made that I think that campaign is going to regret what they said in terms of stolen valor. That's a serious matter. And
yeah, and
that's
one thing
not
that's
the case.
happening is the campaign is pretty much saying straight up, Barry Moore is not a veteran. Whereas yesterday, Jeff Poore asked Jared Hudson straight up, and he said, I have no idea. So who's running the show over there?
Yeah, I told him, don't sell your soul, brother.
Who's running the show over there?
Yeah. Well, we see the worst come out when it gets closer to the end, and this is really the only one that's been particularly nasty. I think, though, I've seen some John Wall and some stuff flying around.
think about the 2022 cycle. What they did to Mike Durant.
That was terrible, man.
And I say I think it's the same people.
Oh, I think it is too.
And I'll just be straight up. I hadn't told this on air. I remember the first time I interviewed Mike Durant in this studio.
Yep.
He was sitting right across from me. When we were off air, I said, are you ready? And he goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, they're coming for you. I'm not accusing you of anything, Mike. I want to assume you have nothing on you, but they're coming. And he said to me, well, I have a thick skin. And I'm like, I let it go after that, but I'm in my head, I'm like, that's not what I mean. I'm not saying that you're one of the toughest MFers I've ever read about and gotten to know and shake his hand.
Right.
Like,
He is a good dude.
Right, he's a great dude, but I'm like, that's not what I mean. I mean, are you ready for, like, say, this AI drone attack that's about to come your way?
It's funny because ignorance is bliss, I suppose, to a degree. But when you get into this game, and you know this because you've covered it, and when we sat there like we did the other night and you watched the Politicos, it's just a subculture. It's different.
Then go back another one with Roy Moore.
Oh, that one's crazy.
And now I think a lot of that one was on Roy Moore.
Yeah.
Like, he had the chance with my adopted godfather, Sean Hannity, to, I don't know why I adopted him as a godfather.
Well, he loves you too, Joe.
Because I don't even think he's Roman Catholic, is he? Maybe he is.
He is.
Okay, good.
Do you know who knows him very well? Who? Is Admiral Davis.
Oh, no, Sean used to be, it's now his ex-wife.
WGST.
But the woman he used to be married to was my mom's best friend in high school,
that's
Jeff
cool.
Davis.
That's really
when it was
cool.
called Jeff Davis.
That's really cool. Back when it was Jefferson.
Yeah, and so, like...
Small world.
Very small world. Now, I never tried to pull on that string, but I did adopt him as my godfather. But Roy Moore had the chance to do this big national interview, put this Washington Post story to bed, and he kind of crapped the bed instead.
Well, wonder why.
Yeah. It's sad. It's just like, it's icky.
There were some pretty bad stories that came out. And, I don't know what's true and what isn't, but when you've got state police saying things that they did for you, that's not a good...
Well, no, and then in this state, like, how did Kay Ivey become governor, Sugar? Did she win an election outright? Now she did later. She's won election stuff, and I'm happy that Kay is sticking it through the whole thing. Like, no, I really did not want to see a whole, like, we gotta resign and all that sort of game.
Dude,
like
Bentley and her, that's like the odd couple.
Right, but it was Bentley.
I know
of
it
all
was.
people.
Couldn't keep his,
the dermatologist, yes.
Couldn't keep his wee-wee in
your
his
pants on.
Gosh darn it, doctor.
I say it all the time. I don't care if the woman you're spending 12 hours a day who's helping your campaign, or if it's the intern who is of legal age. If they invite you upstairs for a bubble bath,
do not do that.
Number one, don't go. But if you must,
go with someone.
Keep your pants on.
Right. Well, so we have a good friend who served on the Bentley staff as one of the commissioners of one of the departments. I ain't going to say his name. You would know him if I told you he's a former probate judge, great Christian dude. He said, I asked him, I go, how could that happen? How could the governor do that? And he goes, Troy, you'd be surprised what a 75-year-old man will do when someone gives him a little bit of attention down there. And I said,
I don't know about that.
That's what he says. He
but
worked
I
for
don't
him.
know about that.
I'm just telling you.
Nah, I don't even want to think about it, is what I'm saying. Well, I like to prefer most of the people that we see in public office do not have private parts and do not have to do that.
They're anatomically incorrect.
Yes, their children are grown in vats, to steal that line from that creepy yesterday, the vat people. But
that guy was weird, man.
Yeah.
Robin goes, what's up with him? I go, I don't know.
Right. Anyway.
Only Crispin Glover can talk that way. Only Crispin Glover could be like, oh, look, man.
Yeah, man.
He was like, yeah, I love Crispin Glover.
Anyway, let's see if this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys. Thanks for letting me on. I do agree with you, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
All votes are important.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you scam the vote, and I'm talking about California, when you scam the vote, then what's underneath that is all the fraud.
Yes.
And then when the fraud comes in, that's when you hurt the kids. You got kids that are just, nobody even knows where they're at. The kids. And then the last thing I want to say is thank you, J.D. Vance, my vice president. Keep going after the fraud, because fraud starts with the political class. All the way at the top of what I was saying is the ones that scam the vote to get into office. That's where it all starts. And California, I mean, they're so upside down, crazy, sideways that it's they can't even lick their own butt. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Now, but I thought you were going to give it that boy to J.D. Vance because he's just opened up a customized chicken coop at the Naval Observatory.
Nice.
Well,
and it was an adorable photo of him with Usha, his wife, and he's got a little chick, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, look at the baby chicken!"
Baby chicken. That was a good photo op.
I thought you were going to give him the that boy for that, Rob.
Yeah,
but the fraud's also.
But he seems like he's doing a better job at his designated job than Kamala Harris on the border.
My cat could do a better job than she.
I appreciate the call, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
And I always remember and have saved this moment from the campaign trail.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. And actually, that is my working theory with a lot of these campaigns and how democracy works. That the better looking person wins.
That's part of it, I think.
Now, sometimes I'm wrong about that.
I think that's part of it, but I think there's also kingmakers out there, as we talked about, these big money pots that, I mean, Jack says it, my friend Jack Burns says it best. He goes, Troy, if I can get a 2-to-1 ratio, 2.1 to 2.2 ratio, I'm a 90% win against somebody. And that's kind of scary if you think about it. It's not about the substance so much as it is the backing.
Yeah, well, and also you can vote. Your vote counts, but you can vote for whatever reason.
Yep, and if you're in Chicago, you can vote early and often.
Anyway, we can hit a break here, and then we'll come back, and we got plenty of stuff to get into. Like, hey, how about a bar tab for George Washington's farewell party?
That would be fun.
We can get into that. Hey, you might have a chance, a very rare chance, to buy an armored Secret Service Chevy Suburban HD.
I bet
the gas mileage is great.
They're terrible. And listen, the suspensions give out because what they do is they're putting all this plate armor on, and they
don't ruin the dream. I want an armored vehicle for no good reason.
You can get an armored personnel carrier. We can get you an armored personnel carrier.
We also have a college professor who is sad to report that his students, his college university students, cannot read.
That's unfortunate.
Jeff Bezos' dream might be going up in flames after that New Glenn rocket exploded a few weeks back. And it's more of an explosion than we thought. Like this actually could be real bad for Blue Origin.
Yeah, I think it is.
And of course, today, the United States Catholic bishops consecrate the nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus to mark the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And Donald Trump has put out a statement about their consecration of the nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. We can get into that.
Sounds good.
And whatever else is on y'all's mind. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Dillon Rings.
Ooh.
And there at Dillon Rings, Josh and Leslie Ryder are ready to help you out with any and all of your jewelry needs. But here's a particular thing they can do. They can breathe new life into family treasures.
That's cool.
So that worn-out family ring Grandma never took off, the special necklace lost years ago that still lives in cherished photographs. At Dillon Rings Custom Jewelry Studio, Josh the jeweler specializes in remaking beloved family treasures and recreating lost pieces with incredible detail. That's really cool.
That's very cool.
Using old photos, family stories, and expert craftsmanship, he can get the job done. Every curve, every stone, every sparkle is brought back with care and precision, so the legacy continues for generations. So if you have a worn-out treasure or a memory you'd love to wear again, you can always message them on the Book of Faces. Just look up Dillon Rings, D-Y-L-A-N Rings, on Facebook. Give them a like and follow them. And you could always send them a message there or just stop by. 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. Josh would love to discuss how they can bring back your family story and bring it back to life. That's really cool. Like if there is that beautiful necklace that Grandma has, you don't know what happened to it. You could have it again.
Absolutely.
See, I'll check them out. Be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, the fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
PSC Equipment and Farm Supply in Raymer always has the best sales, and David's at it again with the Tag It and Take It sale. Saturday, June 13th, load up those trades and bring them with you to the one-day-only mega event. PSC will offer special one-day clearance prices on tons of new and used equipment and implements. Mini excavators as low as $49.95. Mini skid steers starting at $39.95. Quality utility trailers from $17.95. Good Guys cattle trailers starting at just $79.95. And those popular 500 series poly fertilizer spreaders with the stainless steel spinners on sale for $7.99. Tractors, trailers, equipment, attachments, even warehouse products like seed, lime, and fertilizer will have a Tag It and Take It price. The Choo-Choo food truck will feed you, Tony Mills will sing for you, and David Steeless. One day only, Saturday, June 13th, PSC Equipment and Farm Supply, 21704 Troy Highway, Raymer, right near Sykes & Kahn.
The premier place the River region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And, well, as I mentioned earlier, today is the day the United States Catholic bishops are consecrating the United States on its 250th anniversary of American independence to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So the president and the White House put out this statement. Let me just read it, and I'll spare you the Trump voice. Today, Melania and I join in prayer with Catholic bishops gathered in Orlando, Florida, as they consecrate the United States of America to the Sacred Heart of Jesus on the occasion of our 250th year of American independence, a powerful moment in our national story and a poignant reminder that America has always been guided by the loving hand of God. Even in the centuries before the United States was conceived in nationhood, America was a land of prayer, a place of miracles, and home to some of the most faithful and devoted Christians to ever live. From the heroic bands of Christian missionaries, settlers, and explorers who tamed the unknown to spread the gospel, to the priests, chaplains, and churchgoers who forged our spirit in every generation since, the love of Jesus Christ has stood at the center of our identity and way of life. Inspired by this proud birthright of faith, just years after the end of the Revolutionary War, Bishop John Carroll, the first Catholic bishop of the United States and cousin of Catholic founding father Charles Carroll, consecrated our young republic to Mary, the Mother of God. Today, this grand legacy of faith in America reaches yet another historic milestone as America's Catholic bishops consecrate our nation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, during which they will prayerfully, quote, celebrate the abundant gifts, end quote, that God has, quote, given this nation, founded on the self-evident truths that our Creator has endowed all people with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And following today's consecration, on June 12th, Christians in the United States and around the world will celebrate the Feast of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, a joyful celebration of God's boundless love for all his creation. This year's Feast of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus also fittingly marks the anniversary of one of the most momentous days in Western civilization's long twilight struggle against atheistic communism. On June 12, 1987, President Ronald Reagan delivered his historic address at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, Germany, in which he famously implored Soviet General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down this wall. Toward the end of his remarks, President Reagan identified what he called the most fundamental distinction of all between East and West. The totalitarian world produces backwardness because it does such violence to the spirit, thwarting the human impulse to create, to enjoy, to worship. President Reagan recounted the construction by the communist East German government of a mighty television tower in the 1960s. Virtually ever since, Reagan said, the authorities have been working to correct what they view as the tower's one major flaw, treating the glass sphere at the top with paints and chemicals of every kind. Yet, even today, when the sun strikes that sphere that towers over all Berlin, the light makes the sign of the cross. There in Berlin, like the city itself, symbols of love, symbols of worship cannot be suppressed. On that very day, just over 200 miles away, Pope St. John Paul II, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, was speaking in his native Poland on the Westerplatte Peninsula, the place where, in an extraordinary display of heroic virtue, an isolated force of around 200 Polish soldiers held out for 7 days against approximately 4,000 German troops attacking from sea, land, and air in the opening days of World War II. The Pope challenged a gathering of Polish youth, quote, quoting Pope John Paul II, that's right. Each of you, young friends, also finds your own, Westerplatte in life. A set of tasks that must be undertaken and fulfilled. A just cause that you cannot simply fail to fight for. A duty, an obligation from which you cannot shirk. You cannot desert. Finally, a certain order of truths and values that must be upheld and defended. Just at this place, within oneself and around oneself, is defended for oneself and for others. Pope St. John Paul II closed by quoting the words of a Polish martyr, quote, more horrifying than a defeat of arms is the defeat of the human spirit. Thanks to the moral leadership of President Reagan and Pope St. John Paul II, the tireless work and determination of free men and women around the world, and the moral witness of millions who endured prolonged suffering within the captive nations, the godless forces of Soviet communism were vanquished, and the human spirit triumphed. Today, nearly 4 decades later, our nation and our culture confront a new set of menacing ideologies seeking once again to cast God out from our society. But today, as Catholic bishops consecrate the United States of America to the Sacred Heart of Jesus in this 250th year of our independence, we recommit ourselves, like President Reagan and Pope St. John Paul II, to defending our spiritual identity and great civilizational inheritance. Above all, we pray that America will continue for the next 250 years and beyond to be a land of faith, a country of miracles, and a light and glory to all nations. That is directly from the White House here on this day.
Where do we find men like John Paul and Ronald Reagan? It's truly, we were living amongst luminaries and giants.
Yeah, and you can be a little bit worried about Europe. Never be despairing, folks. Yeah. But, like, did you see the opening of that new cathedral in Barcelona?
I did.
It was remarkable.
Did you?
Remarkable.
I know. Did you see the controversy about the gargoyles?
No.
They've been sodomized. They got pipes coming out of their butts.
Wow.
And the architect's like, what? This is
well,
this is
because
of God. Why are we talking about sodomy of gargoyles?
Yeah, there are perverts everywhere.
No. I mean, it's a big deal over there. They're saying people are like, I don't like the pipes coming out of their butts.
Well, they're gargoyles.
It's a beautiful. It's a modern day mirror. It's a wonder.
It's remarkable.
It truly is a
piece of architecture.
He did a great job.
And the way they did the unwinding with the light and the massive choir.
Gorgeous.
Like, it's really incredible. If you just, it's all over the online, folks. If you go look it up, it's worth watching for 10 minutes where you are reminded, no, beautiful things still can be created in the name of God and to give glory to God. And I thought it was just like, well, in godless Europe, actually, there's a lot of God happening.
There is a lot of it.
And the Spirit is on the move. And, every day, I now often find myself repeating this throughout the day, especially during Mass. Sacred Heart of Jesus, I place all my trust in you. Sacred Heart of Jesus, help me to always be true. Sacred Heart of Jesus, keep a place for me and you and me, that I may serve you always and be set free. Sacred Heart of Jesus, bind my heart with sword and thorn. Sacred Heart of Jesus, wash me in your fire, flame, blood, and water, that, in your Sacred Heart, I may be reborn. Wish that for myself. I wish that for this nation. For all those troubled, whether it's a tough political race, because I think we forget about the personal cost.
We do.
Or it's you're having trouble filling up the gas tank or making ends meet. Maybe you're having trouble in your marriage. Could be you're just lonely. You don't have a lot of friends and you're hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
There are a lot of reasons, but if we could all seek refuge in the Sacred Heart of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, if you surrender, you might be amazed at what solace and what refuge you will find. And though this nation, we got a lot of problems, I think if we put our heart in his heart, we're going to be okay.
There's absolutely nothing that you will encounter or endure or travails set against you or snares and pitfalls that have been dug that Jesus Christ cannot overcome with you. So,
amen.
He's the Redeemer of all things.
And now on that note, let's go to a fellow that speaks Spanish, but they've created an X account that uses AI to where you can hear this fella in English in his own accent and his own voice.
Okay.
So it's not it's pretty cool. It's Javier Milei.
Like Javi.
And Javier Milei, or however you say it.
Where's
or
your
Milei.
chainsaw?
Milei,
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him.
He's a great guy.
And what he's done for Argentina, I think.
Oh, man, it's a turnaround.
It's a great sign in that part of the world.
Yes, it is.
And here he's going to talk about, like, free enterprise capitalism. He's going to talk about, like, freedom, as we were just talking about, the vanquishing of godless Soviet communism. And his theory here, his little speech is about how Well, how did you end up with free markets? Was it just some that came up with it out of nowhere? No, actually, they followed the commandments of God.
Free enterprise capitalism is the system that God prepared through his law so that after the fall, work would continue. Man did not invent it, man discovered it by obeying. It is inscribed in the Ten Commandments, in the moral order that the Creator established before any state or any market existed. It doesn't restore the lost divine endowment, nor does it return to man the infinite capacity he had in Eden, but it is the only system that, in line with God's law, allows man to work, innovate, discover technology, and generate prosperity within his current conditions. And even more, it is the path that, by aligning with that law, allows us to bring paradise to earth. Not the paradise of infinite endowments, we lost that one, but the possible paradise, the radical abundance within the fallen world achieved through obedience to the divine order. Free enterprise capitalism is the system that God prepared through his law so that after the fall, work would continue.
Well said.
And that's very well thought and it's very true.
Yeah, in the first half's like right worship. Like make sure you know you're worshiping God, not something else.
Right.
And then the next part gets into essentially covetousness.
The morality of,
And like covetousness, that envy, that sort of even homicidal envy. Yeah, there's a reason so much time is spent on that because often, look at societies today, look at our own society where we're falling down. A lot of that you could point to, say the back half of the Ten Commandments. Heck, you could point to the front half as well. And
all around, yeah.
You know, when folks say, well, what is posting them in a classroom going to do? It's like, well, maybe it doesn't reach somebody, but it might reach one kid, and ain't that worth it?
Well, you know what's funny is as I'm listening to him talk, and just what you said before that when you introduced this, you said what they've done in Argentina is nothing short of remarkable. That country could be a very wealthy country. It has resources, and it was. And the thing about it is totalitarian government, whether it's fascism, whether it's communism, whether it's socialism, Marxism, whether it's whatever it might be, even including militant fascism, suppresses the spirit of people. Yeah. And now it takes years to build it back. But I think they're on the right track, and I hope that he continues the momentum. It's good to see him with his faith and his love for America and for all things liberty. So he's legit.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
At Montgomery Men's Health, we saw a bunch of patients last month. Almost none came because of an ad. They came because something happened. A fight with a wife who finally said, get help. A breakup. A new relationship that made them aware of things they used to ignore. A photo a friend tagged them in. One guy said he just stared at himself in the mirror. And that was enough. If today's your day, call right now. 334-440-3663. I'm Dr. Smith, urologist and advisor to Montgomery Men's Health. Built on almost 15 years of treating men in Alabama, one patient at a time. Dedicated to ED, low T, and male performance. Here's what happens when you call. We book you this week. We'll get a lab in an hour. For ED, we walk you through your real options at the same visit. A plan before you leave. Don't let today turn into next year. Call now, 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Well, hi, everybody. Summer officially begins in 10 days, but we are deep into that summertime pattern. Today, I've got the high temperature up to about 94, mostly sunny, very humid again. Today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, teasing that triple-digit level on the heat index. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. And I've got the rain chances generally 20% or less today and tomorrow. Mostly afternoon and evening hours. And over the weekend, we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Maybe 40% Saturday, let's say 50% Sunday, 60% Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Life's a beach with an ASE loan financing the fun you deserve. It's your summer, your way. ASE has the funds. Apply online or at any of our 9 locations.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
Federally insured by NCUA.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment Lane, Summerdale, Alabama, 36580.
Hillary! Hillary! I'm really feeling my pain. I sure could use a 5-point plan right now.
I'm Christina Warner McKinnis, and we all need the 5-point plan for Alabama farms and families. Better food security. They should be able to buy Alabama rotisserie chicken with SNAP benefits, not margarita mix. Guide more farmers to the millions of dollars in grants they deserve. Protect our farmland from China and promote sweet-grown Alabama for tourism. We need more Alabama food on the plates of our schools and home. It's time to tell the politicians in Montgomery, same old is not working for us.
Christina Warner McKinnis for Agriculture.
I haven't asked the big guy yet, but I have a feeling he'll like the plan.
This 5-point plan is huge, very special. And believe me, I know the 5-point plan. And all the other 5-point plans are horrible, probably made in China.
Accurate, immediate, carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. You can do the Trump dance this one, but you got to go slow. Now, we don't have a lot of time in this segment, so why not share a little bit of Nobunaga?
Yes, what's he up to today?
USA, a diner. The waitress asked me how I want my eggs. My mind went completely blank. How do you want your eggs, hon? Want. How do I want them? No one has ever asked me this. In my land, the egg arrives, the cook decrees, and you thank the egg, the cook, and your ancestors in that order. Scrambled, over easy, sunny side up, she offered gently, the way one talks a man down from a roof. The terms did not help. Over easy. Over what easily? Easy for whom? Sunny side up, these people have named an egg after the dawn. Who does that? I needed time. I have chosen battlefields faster than I chose those eggs. She refilled my coffee and said she'd come back. It was the second refill. I had been deciding for 9 minutes. The man on the next stool leaned over. Just say over easy, man. You can't go wrong. And if I can go wrong, it's eggs, buddy. It's eggs. 800 years of my family training itself to want nothing, and this man dismissed all of it with a fork in his hand. He was right. I will never tell him. Sunny side up, I declared, with the weight of a man choosing a path for life. I will face the sun. You got it, hun. The eggs came. 2 small suns on a white plate looking up at me. Golden, ridiculous, exactly what I wanted. So that is what wanting feels like. I had to cross an ocean and hold up a breakfast line to learn it. The man on the next stool got his check and left. Good choice, he said. Good choice. I've never been more proud of anything. A man does not ask the eggs to be simple. He only becomes a man who knows what he wants. Tomorrow, over easy. I am almost ready. Nobunaga, folks.
Do you know what Robin thinks? She thinks he's a bot.
Oh, probably.
He's not a real person. It's unfortunate. I was hoping so much so that he
I don't
was
care.
real.
These are great.
I think they're wonderful. That's why I say, I don't think Joey cares, and I don't really care. We enjoy it.
Now, if it is real, it's like
he's an old time genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It was a bot. I don't care. Funny bots are cool.
Funny bots are fun. It's the ones that are egging you on. Egging you on. Sorry.
This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. But 'tis the season for mosquitoes. Those nasty.
Not bad. After the
signs that talk about a sign of the fall.
You ain't kidding, man.
Just when Pandora opened up that box,
all those insects and bees,
and especially when you get the microscopic, like the close-up look of them. Like they're demonic.
They are. They really are.
And I know I've been calling a lot of stuff demonic. I apologize, but I look at them.
Nothing good comes from them.
They suck blood and then they urinate on you.
And they carry disease.
So if you want to actually enjoy your property this summer, because with the rain and the humidity, tis mosquito season.
It certainly
Get Pest Pro Services out there and then get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Instead of trying to spray yourself or use candles that don't work. And since Charlottesville, you can't use tiki torches.
Yes.
I don't suggest it.
I wouldn't.
unless you're just that way. Instead, have Pest Pro come out and treat the yard. And it works beautifully. And they can come out on a regular basis. So during mosquito season, you don't have to worry about them at all. You can sit on that back porch, hang out around the pool. You can sit on the front porch in the rocking chair and not get eaten up and solve all the world's problems and smoke a good stogie and all the great, wonderful, fun things without those nasty, nasty mosquitoes. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com to learn more or search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or just call them direct. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. That's Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump issuing a warning about Iran and informing the American people about his plans. In a post on Truth Social, he writes, quote, at some point in the not-too-distant future, we will be taking Karg Island and other oil infrastructure points and assume total control of their oil and gas markets, much like we've done with Venezuela. The president said the small island off the coast of Iran is home to a major oil terminal and considered to be the country's economic lifeline. Damaging storms sweeping through parts of the Midwest, disrupting flights at Chicago airports and knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. The National Weather Service says it received more than a dozen reports of tornadoes on Wednesday across northern Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, and Illinois. It's been a winning session so far today on Wall Street. Right now, the Dow is up 785 points. This is SRN News.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
The following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico in the studio with me. You got like all the flags behind you now.
Well, what I'm trying to do is this is like my green screen or whatever they call it. Greenfield is. We got to have something in the background. You got a nice setup over there with the black.
Rich Thomas was worried because he left them up. Like, are these weird countries? I'm like, no, that's from the American Revolution and Appeal to Heaven. That's
poor Rich.
That's the Knights Templar. Like, that's the Roman.
That's the Roman. It's the
Legion.
Roman. It's the Roman Senate. It's the Roman
Senate. And then what's the blue one with the rest?
That's the official flag of Christianity. That is recognized as the international flag of Christianity.
Did that fly over Jerusalem for a while, friend?
Well, no, this is a modern flag. It was adopted, I believe, in 1940, but there was a convention of it, and this was decided a field of blue with a red cross with blood on a white pure field.
It's a nice flag.
Yeah, it is. I love it. That's the modern flag of Christianity.
So go to JR. Hey, JR, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to ask y'all, I think it was yesterday, at least one day this week, they were talking about that young policeman that was convicted of murder, and it's my understanding he's getting a new trial. Is that right?
I think we're talking about the remember Simpler Days called in and said we need to have him on the show.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, no, there's no new trial.
There's no new trial.
Like, what happened is he was convicted. It was prosecuted by the DA here locally. Then I believe on appeal, it went up to the Alabama Supreme Court, and they said he didn't have proper representation. So it went to retrial, and then the AG's office created a plea deal with him to where he essentially got time served and was back home, and he's back home now. But he argues that the AG's office could have stepped in earlier. But I mean, I'm not going to argue with Cody. But no, he's home now.
Oh, okay. So he's out. That's what's important. But
Yeah.
I think what Simpler Days said was, if I'm not mistaken, is that Robertson lady that's running, is she the one that was in charge of prosecuting him?
Now, she was the chief counsel for the AG's office, and the main person who prosecuted him was Darrell Bailey when he was the DA. Jay Mitchell, who's running against Robertson, and A.C. Smith, who's backing Mitchell, say the AG's office should have moved in faster.
I agree, and I voted for the lady the first time, but I'm not going to vote for her this time.
For this reason.
For this reason,
Okay.
and it's really the only thing I know. But I thought from the beginning that he had been railroaded. I mean, when you're in the middle of the night chasing somebody, are there witnesses? I mean, I just think it was like he said. Todd Strange was afraid they would know how to ride or something, and I've always thought he was railroaded. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think there's a little bit of an open question. Again, I'm not going to argue with Cody Smith, but of how much is Catherine Robertson responsible for what
She
happened?
never
to
ran
him?
for office. She's always worked for the. Yeah.
But that's for each
Trouble.
voter to decide.
Well, do y'all have any opinions on that race that you can say?
I like Catherine still because I put more of the blame on the prosecution on Darrell Bailey.
Yep, and bad counsel.
And bad counsel, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think, brother. I think that we've had her in our studio. She's pro-gun. Let me tell you, she's pro-gun 100%. And she said I had to watch. She had to watch herself because she said I almost the vigilantism when I said something. She gets it. I think she gets it that the city needs to be cleaned up. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Just my thoughts, and I agree with you about the officer. That's some crap. That's why this department's in the trouble it's in right now. Nobody backs him, and that's a problem.
I'm glad he's home.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Gerald. 272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler days.
Speak of the devil and he appears.
Yeah. The caller was referring to the railroading, the lynching, the tar and feathering of one young police officer that was just trying to do his job. And Todd Strange is such a hypocrite. He says that, we just couldn't do anything. We just had to step back and let it run its course. But he could have stood up for his officer and simply said, we support our officer, we're behind our officer until proven guilty. But he didn't do that. And, of course, the AG's office, this case started under Luther Strange. Luther, it initiated under him, and then it went into the hands of Steve Marshall's office. It was jacked up in so many ways, gentlemen, because as the Strange mayor said, we didn't have any kind of policy for that. We didn't have any kind of policy for if an officer gave a compelled statement to his supervisor at the scene, and then he gave another statement to another supervisor, and then another supervisor, and then an ABI investigator comes in, and he never got a bottle of water. He never got advised of his constitutional rights. And in there lies the truth of what happened between an officer and a citizen who made a decision not to simply comply with a lawful command, and it ended him dead and the officer in prison.
Oh, yeah. I don't disagree with your characterization at all.
I got to tell you something, Simpler Days. As a former commander of infantry and watching some of the soldiers and some other units getting charged with double tapping in mosque and things like that when I was in Iraq, it's a very similar equation. And if you have men and women that you're putting in harm's way and asking them to do the dirty deed that no one else is willing to do, and then you don't back them when something happens, that's a recipe for disaster and for complete chaos and disintegration of a unit. So.
Oh, exactly. And if you've got young Greenwood that's eager and ambitious to do what they've been told is the right thing to do, go out there and catch burglars that are tearing us up, and pat them on the head. He'd just gotten an award for catching burglars.
That's awesome. Can I ask you something? I heard someone made a statement. Had there been two officers out there, he was by himself on that night. Had there been two, that may not have happened, and that's unfortunate to think. But it doesn't excuse how it was handled either way. So,
no, it doesn't excuse it, but that's one of the the critical problems with law enforcement now. There's not enough, and used to on the late shift car, you would have, especially if you had a young officer,
there'd be someone.
You'd have him with a veteran officer,
right on. Yep.
And he'd say, okay, maybe we don't need to run this rabbit down into his hole.
I got you.
Maybe we need to catch him tomorrow and get him another day. And they don't have that. And I when I used to teach at the academy, I'd look in their eyes, and I'd say, you'll never know what it felt like to get into a car like I did with a Vietnam veteran, and I felt like I was in my mama's arms, and there wasn't anything he had never seen before.
That's great.
Y'all have a good day.
That's great. That's a great story. I'm sure he had good mentoring.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Now, I just want to share this. I just didn't get to it yesterday, but I thought Matt Walsh summed up the interesting angle to the whole Carmelo Anthony Metcalf case.
Okay.
Of course, he was convicted of murder, 36 years sentenced. And here's what Matt Walsh put out there. Consider all of the blatant lies that activists tell about cases we've all lived through. Because it's not just this case. You could think in recent. But consider all the blatant lies that activists tell about cases we've all lived through. cases where there's a video and forensic evidence disproving their claims. Think about how the false narrative spread anyway and eventually become mainstream orthodoxy. Now go back and consider every supposed racist atrocity from decades or centuries ago. Every quote-unquote innocent minority wrongfully persecuted by racist whites. I'm not saying that all those stories aren't true. I'm saying that you can't assume that they are true. If they can lie about the stuff we all witness with our own eyes, imagine what they can do with the things none of us witnessed.
The narrative continues, but it doesn't have the same power as it used to have.
Right.
It just doesn't.
And that's what's so interesting about this age is the unwinding of liberal boomerdom in particular, and the dream factory machine that they were able to cook up at that time for decades. As that becomes unwound in real time, like when the latest election, and you have different types of media and different sorts of ways of breaking down messages, and every story gets like deconstructed in real time on the internet and yada, yada, yada. What's interesting is not just the media today that's becoming unwound or people are starting to see through the narratives. The more they see through the modern day, there's this ripple effect back into the past where people go, well, what I was taught in school, is that just 100% true then? Now, this could, of course, be perilous because there are some aspects of history that I think are pretty rock solid.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean everything, especially things that have a lot of political heat around them. You got to wonder. And by the way, this just came to my mind. Any sort of founding story of politics, if you actually could go back and like have a drone, like mosquito drone that could film everything, millions of them that filmed every angle of what really happened, saying even in the American Revolution, probably isn't exactly the story we have been telling.
Never is. You know what? There's an old saying, Robin says it to me all the time. If you ever look at anything truly close up, you'll find flaws in it. And I think that so is true with history. There's so much that we believe that is there a fabric of truth to it? I mean, a fragment of truth? Yes.
And there are so many angles, because think of like this one angle is think of the American Revolution as a British Vietnam. And think of it from the perspective of a British liberal,
absolutely,
who wanted America to win.
Yeah,
and it just completely changes the war. Unless you're not in Boston and you see the Boston Massacre, and no, you're like in the Parliament and you're kind of rooting for the Americans against the king, the Tories and whatnot.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, then you can flip that coin, right, and say, and then we have the loyalists here in the States, and those people were run off or killed, buddy. Most of them went to Canada.
Well, and the vast majority of people were not doggedly on one side or the other.
No, they weren't. They just
like the hardcore revolutionists, like the Sons of the Revolution, your Samuel Adams. That's like at most 10%.
Yes, they were.
And then you had another, say, subset of loyalists that were that hardcore. But most of the folks were just going where the winds of change were blowing.
This is true.
And kind of hoping for the best. And ain't that always the case? I think there are a lot of folks who are just like weathering the storm.
Keep their head down and get through it. But you look at our founding fathers, I mean, much like the apostles, only a couple of them got away and lived a normal old life. They were killed, property seized, sons and daughters in prison killed. Terrible stories, but they were men of great ilk.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier Boy.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, the Carmelo Anthony case I want to talk about real quick. Okay. What's interesting is how they tried to make it sound like that there was not one person, one black person on the jury, okay?
Right.
But here's the interesting thing about it is they didn't further mention and ask the next question that they made it sound like there was 12 men from MAGA that were on the jury, okay? That's not the case. The case, I deal with facts, not emotions like some people do, okay? When you deal with facts, is there was a couple of Hispanic people on the jury, a couple Asian people on the jury,
it is
a couple Native Americans.
It is Texas. It's got a lot of different types of folks in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. It was made up of people of color, too. So they try to infer that there was nothing but 12 men from Trump supporters on the jury, and that's why they got the the unanimous vote and not a hung jury. But what's interesting about it is about the whole thing about it is did you listen to what Crockett said? She said it was a Swiss Army knife.
She's so foolish.
Yeah.
Here's my question: how can you be that stupid and open your mouth?
She's a wounded animal.
She's not stupid. She's just buying into the cause.
Okay, and Carmela Anthony. Okay, he wasn't feeling so innocent. He didn't want to take the stand, did he?
No.
He chose not to. And then don't you have as a defense attorney, when you're selecting a jury, don't you have a certain number of selections you can deny?
Yeah.
Selective?
Yes. You do.
Okay. So you tell me you couldn't, I guess perhaps that attorney could ask him, I guess. Maybe he didn't, or did they do it on purpose not to have it, knowing that they were going to get not a hung jury, that they can get this on appeal?
No, and it is being appealed today. Of course. And I think if you want to hope for the kid at all, the only hope is he'll get not 30-something years. But I think the other facts of the case are, he stabbed somebody in the heart after not much provocation at all. It's kind of crazy.
Well, first of all, 30 years is pretty lenient. In Texas, he could have got the death penalty.
He could have, yeah. Sure.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying if you're on his side and you're being realistic, that's, I think, the best you could hope for is a reduced sentence.
Yeah. And before 30 years, I think he can go up for parole after 17 years.
Jeez.
So,
yeah.
Okay, 17 years, and how old is he? About, 20 years old or 18?
Something like that.
He can get out before he's 40. So if he gets out of good behavior and everything and does what he's supposed to, and maybe learn his lesson and repent while he's in there for his actions, maybe he can get out of there at 40 years young still, Joey.
Shall see.
He won't be able to sit. He won't be able to sit.
I admit I didn't follow this case in detail because I thought it was a tragic, awful case that looked pretty obvious in terms of the fact pattern of what actually happened, and a lot of the noise made by activists is just that noise. And I think the reason this doesn't have more traction and you don't see more folks in the streets is because I think the average person's kind of like, "What? You stabbed somebody in the heart?"
Hey Troy.
Yes, sir.
Hey Troy, you want to go with me to Ireland and help
no, man,
Colin McGregor and take back?
Hey,
Colin McGregor wanted to say he wants to take the country back.
I know. I'm telling you what, man. You're pushing these people to a point where, the worst part of that story is not the attack. It is, though it was bad.
Yeah.
Is the government saying, everybody calm down. We don't want to get this into a racial conversation. No, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
That's exactly. Hey, you know what I want for president? I want the Polish president as the next president.
I love his statement when he told, I think he was at a conference with NATO, and they were talking about diversity. He goes, let me tell you about my country. We don't have any Arabs here. We'll never have Arabs here. And we enjoy the highest per capita wealth in your region, and we have the most engineers per capita. Pound sand.
I love what he did. Well, he said that he does let people into the country, but they have such a strong vetted system that you have to pass through. Kind of like when we do when you become a citizen, from another country, not just walk right in. And he showed it. He had guys shoot to kill on their fences.
That's good.
And they have shot and killed people trying to sneak over the barbed wire fences.
Well, the problem is that Russia's been trying to weaponize these immigrants from Turkey through Belarus. So, yeah. Yep. The sad thing, guys, that is lost in all this Iran stuff, Joey, is Ukraine is kicking some butt. Kicking violence.
Some of their innovations.
Taking land back.
Amazing.
Haven't they taken some land back?
They've taken like 3% of the land lost in the last couple of weeks.
And I saw Zelensky reached out to have a direct meeting with Putin. Putin turned it down.
He can't. Listen, he can't. There's no real outcome for him where he can get peace. It's all or nothing or death for him. Is how I see it.
The president of Poland. I love what he said. He said these people are nothing but savages. They're trying to get into our country and destroy us. And the guy who was doing the interview on the documentary, he says, "What do you mean savages?" He says, "Well, two of our soldiers had weapons, automatic weapons. They threw spears through the fence and stabbed both of them with spears." Can you believe that?
Time to kill.
That ain't savage. I don't know what is. If you ain't going to kill with a basic primal spear weapon.
Yeah. That's a heck of a way to go. Well, I appreciate the call, Soldier Boy.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, you have a good day.
Thanks,
Todd.
guy. Yep.
272-9228. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, if you're looking for somebody to help you out in the real estate market, whether you're looking to buy or sell here in the River Region real estate market, well, why not check out the Goodson Group? Bo's been working
forever
here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas in real estate for about half a century now. So a lot of experience, and not only can he and the team there at the Goodson Group help you out with buying and selling property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out a home. Great idea in this market, especially when you have the Goodson Group managing that rental for you. So check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor of the program. Now, I saved this from yesterday, and this is, I believe, at the SBLC hearing.
Okay.
But, you know, we played him twice this week. So this is Wesley Hunt.
Okay.
This is the representative from Texas.
Yes.
The black pilot.
I like him.
What, West Point graduate?
West Point graduate, flew 500 hours in combat in an AH-64 Apache Longbow. He's a man.
And so here is what Congressman had to say about, well, the Democrats' tricks and, well, let's just hear him out.
What I find truly ironic is that how this is the second hearing in just a few weeks and where we have to confront the hatred festering inside the very organization that claims that it is fighting against, of course, the hatred that being. According to a superseding indictment, the SPLC paid more than $4.1 million to informants tied to extremist groups, including the KKK from 2010 to 2023. In two cases, informants who were active members of the local KKK chapter reportedly told the SPLC that they wanted out because they feared for their safety. Instead of supporting their exit, the SPLC employee allegedly encouraged them to remain involved and offered them a monthly salary of $1,200 to do so. As a result, one informant rose into a leadership role within the KKK, recruited other new members, purchased KKK materials, and were even reimbursed for expenses related to cross-burning events. I can't make this up. This is not just ironic, sir. It's quite outrageous.
Oh, and did you see after this court case, there was, I can't remember exactly where it was. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I'm not familiar with that.
No, but there was in Chicago's Grant Park, Tuesday afternoon, Chicago's Grant Park. Police were investigating after a cross was set on fire.
Oh, I saw that. No, I did see that in Grant Park.
But then, of course, everybody online's like, wait, did the SPLC strike again?
That's just exactly what I thought when I saw it. I go,
Sir, as you highlighted in your testimony, these organizations have survived for 55 years, taking donations from generous donors. During this time, were these donors ever informed where and whom their money was being passed on to?
Congressman Hunt.
Yes, sir.
All the allegations in the indictment will be addressed in the Middle District of Alabama in the case pending against the SPLC.
So you were taking money from people, and were they informed that this was actually funding members of the KKK?
Congressman,
so if a donor says, "Hey, I'm going to give y'all $1 million," did you then say, "Well, we're actually going to have a covert operation that's going to secretly give money to KKK to fund the organization"? And then did the donor then say, "Well, that sounds like a good idea. Please take more of my money"? That ever happened?
Congressman Hunt, all of the allegations in the indictment will be addressed in the Middle District of Alabama.
And that's the voice of the president of the SPLC,
yes,
Mr. Fair.
Mr. Fair, the interim, I think, right?
Yeah.
Criminal proceedings.
So, here in politics, we take, we take money from donors, and, we have a lot of donor meetings, and the first thing we want to do is they want to understand the platform that they are given to. And my guess is that if you have a donor that's given to your organization, you didn't tell them that they were giving money to KKK. That's fair to say. And if they did know that they were giving money to the KKK, I would call that nefarious intent. We have a bigger problem in this country and with your organization. So I will say this. My Democrat colleagues sit here and they defend your organization, and I will use my time, the rest of my time, to reiterate what I have said many a day sitting in this chair. The Democrat Party has built an entire political machine on grievance. They don't want to solve problems. They want to reopen wounds of the past. They don't offer vision, they offer victimhood. Racism, white supremacy, Jim Crow, democracy is dying. Why? Because fear is the currency of the Democrat Party. Division is their strategy. Outrage is their oxygen. I had a previous colleague that talked about, seeing a black pilot and what that would mean to Charlie Kirk's comments. And it's funny, black pilot here, by the way. I actually went to flight school, West Point graduate, learned how to fly the Apache helicopter, went to flight school in 2005. You see, there was no DEI. We just simply competed with everyone else, and I was selected, fought in combat, went on to fly 55 combat air missions, and nobody gave a damn what I looked like because I got there on merit. What DEI does is it lowers standards based on race and based on gender. Ma'am, you are nodding your head. First of all, thank you for your legacy. Thank you for your family's legacy. What was your uncle's dream, if you don't mind me asking?
Martin Luther King said he had a dream. It was rooted in the American dream, that one day there would be no black power, no white power, only God power and human power. He wanted us to learn to live together as brothers and sisters and not perish as fools. Why would we only get 10% set aside when we are entitled to the same percentages every American out of the 100%? I'm going to yield back to you because I would talk too long. God bless you, sir.
God bless you, ma'am. And what I understand is that as Democrats would have it, they would think that every single black person should be a Democrat, which would make us the only demographic in the entire world that would think that their entire race should belong to one party. And what your uncle was referring to is this: being judged not by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character, and having representation from all people, from all walks of life, on both sides of the party. And I would argue that we are living your uncle's dream. Are
one
we perfect?
blood,
No, we're not.
one race.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm seated before you today as the United States Congressman. My brother, sister, and I all went to West Point. We're all West Point graduates. We all served our country. And I'm here to tell you that I am living that dream every single day. And I am so proud of you and proud of what you stand for, because I know it's not easy. But I'm so glad that people like you are fighting the good fight for the great future of this country, because we are here living Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. It's why I am sitting here today being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character, from a white majority district in Houston, Texas. And I've been black for my entire life. Stop listening to the crap of the left and realize that we are all in one boat, rowing in the same direction because of people like you. We must fight against organizations that want to give a dime to organizations like the KKK
Chairman,
for whatever reason. I get back the remainder of my time.
If you're willing to grant us equal.
Let me tell you, I like this guy.
I like him a lot.
This guy, he is the epitome of why in the military a meritocracy is the only method for selecting leadership and for advancement. But DEI has reared its head, and hopefully it'll be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, and you always hear the diversity is our strength thing.
No, it's not.
Not for its own sake. The most generous reading that I think the only way diversity is better is when it expands the talent pool. To where you find great souls and great talented people like this gentleman.
Yeah.
That's where it's great, but it's to the point and purpose of one mission, say, in the military, not for its own sake.
I would argue, though, he's living proof that you don't need DEI. If you're black, or if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, white, Native American, do good, do right, and you will rise. You will rise through the system, and that's the way it works. But other people want to take shortcuts.
Yeah. Well, and let's say, it's not, we're on the other side of Eden here. Say you do get screwed in some way or the other, to assume that you uniquely, because of your race, are getting screwed is like, well, you should talk to everybody that's been in life. There's a lot of reasons you don't get the gig, and it's not necessarily always fair.
That's true.
We hope for a perfect meritocracy, but, there's a lot to it. But the idea of then throwing out, because we don't meet that ideal, that you just throw out that standard completely, and now let's just essentially focus on diversity as the main goal itself. That just seems, like going down the wrong road.
Myopic, very myopic.
Anyway.
I think we got somebody on the line.
We do have to hit a break, though.
Okay.
This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing, and they're at Cole Plumbing. They can help you out with any and all of your plumbing needs. It could be, excuse me, Congressman.
I love it.
It could be you've got a big old leak, like a big old water leak.
Good.
Not good at all.
Not if you're especially if you're on a slab.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that too.
Maybe you got a blown up, just busted water heater.
Yeah, this
water tank.
All water all over the place.
It could be you got a gas line leak, which is truly
That's
dangerous.
really dangerous.
That's like really dangerous. Really, really dangerous. You
gotta
need to get that
pro.
fixed like immediately.
You better get a pro out there like him.
Yeah, Cold Plumbing, they can help you out with all those. There could be a smaller issue like the toilet flapper doesn't work anymore, or the
leaking
garbage disposal doesn't really, it makes sound, but it barely, and it stinks, and it doesn't really do its job. You probably need a new one. Or maybe you just need to unclog a drain. They can help you with all that.
Don't they have some proprietary technology?
Yeah,
too, they
especially on the
use?
big jobs. That means they can find an issue inside or
That's
outside
so
the
cool.
house with precision and expertise
That's
without
amazing.
tearing up a bunch of drywall inside or
Digging
digging
a
a
lot
huge
of dirt up.
hole or a trench or whatever. So y'all check out Cold Plumbing today. You can always make an appointment at coldplumbing.com, but go ahead and save their number. It's 334-279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
I'm Bradley Earl Ekdahl, and I'm asking for your vote June 16th for Circuit Judge Place 5, Autauga, Chilton, and Elmore counties. I'm a 20-year veteran of the trial courtrooms of Alabama. I've served you as an assistant district attorney. I've served you as the municipal prosecutor for the city of Prattville, and I've continued to serve you as the municipal judge of Millbrook. I've defended the most difficult and serious cases before judge and jury. I've been serving this community for 20 years. Vote Bradley Earl Ekdahl, June 16th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Bradley Earl Ekdahl, 131 Hunts Alley, Prattville, Alabama, 36067. Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breaker stripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment Lane, Summerdale, Alabama, 36580.
Hillary! Hillary! I'm really feeling my pain. I sure could use a 5-point plan right now.
I'm Christina Warner McKinnis, and we all need the 5-point plan for Alabama farms and families. Better food security. They should be able to buy Alabama rotisserie chicken with SNAP benefits, not margarita mix. Guide more farmers to the millions of dollars in grants they deserve. Protect our farmland from China and promote sweet-grown Alabama for tourism. We need more Alabama food on the plates of our schools and home. It's time to tell the politicians in Montgomery, same old is not working for us.
Christina Warner McKinnis for Agriculture.
I haven't asked the big guy yet, but I have a feeling he'll like the plan.
This 5-point plan is huge, very special. And believe me, I know the 5-point plan. And all the other 5-point plans are horrible, probably made in China.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders. living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Well, hi, everybody. Summer officially begins in 10 days, but we are deep into that summertime pattern. Today, I've got the high temperature up to about 94, mostly sunny, very humid again. Today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, teasing that triple-digit level on the heat index. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. And I've got the rain chances generally 20% or less today and tomorrow. Mostly afternoon and evening hours. And over the weekend, we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Maybe 40% Saturday, let's say 50% Sunday, 60% Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
So welcome back, folks. Trump called off the strikes.
Yeah.
Those big old strikes on Iran and taking Carg Island and stuff. They're postponed for the moment. Dance party.
It's a dance party USA.
Yeah, it is. You seem disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. Listen,
frustrated.
Listen, and our next guest can talk a little bit about this. Look, here's the deal. We have kicked this can down the road. I'm going to tell you this as honestly and brutally as I can tell you. There's nothing that IRGC will negotiate with you on that you can trust. They've already said they're not giving up the uranium or the weapons. Then we don't have anything to talk about, gentlemen. Time to have ass-kicking violence delivered. That's how it is.
Let's go to line one. I believe we got Cinco on the line?
Colonel
Doug DeMay. Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Feeling notorious lately.
You should be. You know, there's people looking for you, man. I can't hang out with you anymore. They turned me away too. Anyways, what do you think about all this? What do you think
you're on the lookout for me. That's
be on the lookout. Yeah. What do you think about? Joey and I were kicking this can down the road. What do you think about the Iran situation?
You know, Troy, so having gone through the whole Iraq deal for decades of my career, along with you and many others, we wanted to end this thing and get it done, and we did. And it is a very difficult situation to be entrenched in the Middle East, and I see that, but I also see the need for what you say, the ass-kicking violence, to get it done. I'm wondering, I don't know if there's anybody else but our current president who could do what he's doing to try to get a deal and then turn it on and off like he does. I just can't see it. So it's a very difficult situation. I agree with you in principle. There is no trust there at all. But in the meantime, I'm wondering, and I'm going to ask you this, are we building a good alliance along that, something that is enduring with the other nations that are there while we're doing it?
Yeah, I do. And I think that part of this whole game with Israel is that the Abraham Accords were so critical to the reshaping of that conflict. And let's be honest, when you lash out and you attack your neighbors, because let's be honest, and when I say this, they could hurt them more and get pressure to get America to stop doing or Israel to stop doing. But it looks to me like the game's over. And in fact, we have evidence that Saudi Arabia and UAE had flown some combat missions into Iran.
Yeah, I'm stealing this from Newt Gingrich, but he said, when you look at this action as a unilateral American action into Iran, it makes no sense.
Right.
And a lot of the problems of the Iraq War and global war on terror, you start coming back to mind. But if you look at this as building a brand new coalition, then it makes a heck of a lot of sense. Sure. And to your point, the Abraham Accords seem to be the linchpin of this. And sometimes there's nothing like a war to bring people closer together with disparate interests as well.
I agree. You know, and we've been looking to, at least in my kind of strategic background, to have Saudi Arabia balance out Iran for many, many decades. And now we've got this building momentum to do so. So I'm thinking that this could just be that strategic masterstroke we've been looking for in the Middle East for a long time. And again, I truly feel like this president is the only one that I could name that could do it. He's got that moxie to do it and the guts to turn it on and off like he's doing. That's kind of what I see.
Now, Troy brought this up, as I mentioned, they were throwing out the idea of taking Karg Island and controlling all the oil and gas, essentially choke points for the Iranians. And Troy brought up, are we prepared and have taken out, say, drone countermeasures that the Iranians might still possess? And it's back to something we've talked about many times on the show. Like there's no doubt if the United States Marines want to take Karg Island, they're going to take Karg Island and do it pretty quickly. But then holding it, you got to wonder, do we get bit by this asymmetrical bug again?
Sure you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you, and Troy knows this too, this AI-driven robotic emerging capabilities are recreating mass and speed, surprise. It's very scary. It's tipping the balance to, you're talking 500 versus maybe $1 million with a shot on the other side for a missile. I deal with this on a daily basis in fact, I'm working on with a company right now, which is doing this. I can't go too much into it, but just look at the rescue of 2 downed pilots by an unmanned vehicle.
Corsair.
Right? And so these things are going to happen more and more. It's redefining the term of mass. What does that mean? And how quickly can we get it? But I will tell you, too, that U.S. companies, if we are unleashed to do so, we can create some of that ass-kicking violence you're talking about, Troy. And I think we can help tip the balance back.
I recently wrote that piece, and you blessed off on it, much in line with what you're doing, kind of classified as, Joey, I discussed that the scalability of America right now and its antiquated defense acquisition systems with big military industrial complex players taking 8 to 10 years to get a product to feel. Listen, the consumer off the shelf is doing it in a matter. They are scaling in weeks, if not days sometimes, and we're years out.
And it might even get to the point, and this is just me spitballing here, to where even what's directing your manufacturing is the AI. In sort of to get the right components, the exact, set up very quickly to meet the latest demands of, say, the tactics that the AI is coming up with. I can just see that you need stuff where you can very quickly change and produce.
Agreed. And these startups, if you guys are getting to this, allowing startups to have access to the acquisition system is the key for us in this country. Otherwise, we have so many great ideas and companies that are emerging that just get crushed under the weight of that system.
And I think what we did when I talked in my article, and you noticed, best practices have to be used. What I mean is, you keep the big the military industrial complex players, the Lockheeds, the Boeings, the Grummans, but you pair them with mobile, agile, smaller organizations that can make things turn quickly. And that's really where we need to be at, like a mentoring program, a pairing program. What do you think about that, sir?
Absolutely agree with that too. And it also, you have to cross the lines of the domains. You have to meld the air domain with the sea, with space. And there's a reticence to doing that too, because everybody has their quote unquote lane. Everybody designs systems for the militaries. We have this thing in the military called original sin. In 1947, we set up these departments that basically by domain. One of them quote unquote owns the air domain. The other is the land domain. And crossing that has been extremely difficult. And we've designed systems to fit into those pockets where what we really need to be doing is designing forces that cover all of them. And we were even equipping my latest time at the Doctrine Center and talking about strategy. We would end up with 2 forces, a terrestrial force and then a space force.
So that means you're coming back to the Army Air Corps, right?
in a way, Troy, you could think like that, and of course you have Space Marines. You know, you're.
But listen, if we really break it down, Joey, the mission of the Air Force is to have air superiority and control the sky to support ground operations as well. So it's really, I mean, it's half a dozen, six of the others. So.
Well, you could even say space is the high ground, and we have space superiority so that we can do everything.
Absolutely, that's where we're headed to, isn't it? We are going to be in the exosphere out there into the beyond.
Well, I'm up against a break, but always great hearing from you, sir.
Yeah.
Great to hear from you too.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for letting me come on the show, and awesome to see you the other night at the event.
Absolutely, you too, Senko. Thanks, sir. I like that guy. He's a man. He's truly a great American. So now we got to hit another break here. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out whether you're looking to buy or refinance a home, and especially if you're a veteran.
Yeah.
They know the latest with the VA mortgage program, and a lot of veterans still buy into the stuff their veteran buddies say, like, "Well, you used it or you didn't qualify." No.
You got many uses.
Go talk to folks in the mortgage business like Alabama Home Mortgage, who are local, trusted, and know the latest, so you don't leave money on the table. And even if you're not a veteran, they know how to get you the best possible deal. It could be refinancing to restructure debt, reinvest in the property. It could be you're looking to buy. And you want to at least, get pre-qualified, pre-approved, and know that you can shop with confidence how much you can afford, how much you can finance. So be sure to check out Alabama Home Mortgage for all your home mortgage needs. And, of course, they don't just serve Alabama. Nope. Maybe you got to move. They serve also Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. Licensed in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. So check them out today. It's 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At eBike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. eBike Oasis offers free 1-hour electric bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by eBike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment Lane, Summerdale, Alabama, 36580.
Hillary! Hillary! I'm really feeling my pain. I sure could use a 5-point plan right now.
I'm Christina Warner McKinnis, and we all need the 5-point plan for Alabama farms and families. Better food security. They should be able to buy Alabama rotisserie chicken with SNAP benefits, not margarita mix. Guide more farmers to the millions of dollars in grants they deserve. Protect our farmland from China and promote sweet-grown Alabama for tourism. We need more Alabama food on the plates of our schools and home. It's time to tell the politicians in Montgomery, same old is not working for us.
Christina Warner McKinnis for Agriculture.
I haven't asked the big guy yet, but I have a feeling he'll like the plan.
This 5-point plan is huge, very special. And believe me, I know the 5-point plan. And all the other 5-point plans are horrible, probably made in China.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, we don't have a lot of time left before the top of the hour break. So, let's give you another Nobunaga.
I knew he's coming.
Now, we have many choices today.
Okay.
There's one in particular that caught my eye, because earlier we were talking about covetousness.
Yes.
Like, don't covet your neighbor's wife or your neighbor's stuff or his livestock. Yeah. Nobunaga writes, USA, the suburbs. My neighbor Dale complimented my lawn, and I understood immediately that war had been declared. It began at dawn on the day of rest, a roar. I went outside. Dale was marching a machine across his grass in perfectly straight lines, alone, unbidden, at first light. Up and down the street, the same scene, men grooming the earth itself, blowing single leaves from one place to another with enormous seriousness. Gotta stay on top of it, Dale called over the noise. Stay on top of it, as though the grass, left alone for 1 week, would rise up and take the house. So I began tending mine, modestly at first. And then one morning, Dale passed by my fence, raised his coffee, and said the words, "Lawn's looking good." In my country, war was declared with messengers and sealed scrolls. Here, it is declared with a compliment about your lawn. I bought an edger. Dale answered with diagonal stripes. I rose at 6. The following Saturday, Dale's mower was running at 5:45. We greet each other warmly over the fence, and neither of us has ever acknowledged what is happening, because this is the rule. My back aches in a way I associate with actual combat. I have never been happier. A man does not ask Dale for peace. There is no peace. There is only lawn. My grass is now short enough to disappoint a rabbit. My lines are straight enough to navigate by. Yesterday, a man slowed his truck, looked at my yard, nodded once, and drove on. Dale saw it. Dale saw it.
I'm thinking of King of the Hill, man.
A lawn, I have learned, is a letter to your street and says, I am still trying. Mine now says it is in very straight lines. Saturday, 5:30 a.m., the war continues. Dale does not know it yet. Dale knows. Yeah, Nobunaga. And I don't care if it's real or a bot.
It's definitely
or
a bot. It's definitely a bot. But you know what? I think Mike Judge has something to do with it. Sounds like
Maybe.
King of the Hill, man.
Yeah, no, but that's a classic. Like,
I love it. What, King of the Hill?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Greatest of all. It's one of the greatest.
King of the Hill.
There's always a good message in it. There's always a layer of good messaging in it.
Yeah, but the idea of a lawn war in the suburbs.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's an American
Well, if you remember, Beavis and Butthead started with the old man, get up my lawn, you damn kids, and that was really Hank Hill.
Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump has issued a warning to Iran about what's going to happen. He took to Truth Social today to predict that the U.S. will soon be taking over Karg Island. That's a small island offshore that houses much of Iran's important oil infrastructure, including a major refinery. The president said it is home to not only a major oil terminal, but essentially amounts of the country's economic lifeline. Occupying it could provide a platform for the U.S. military to carry out attacks against the mainland and choke off Iran's oil exports. Damaging storms sweeping through the Midwest, disrupting flights at Chicago's airports yesterday and knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. World Cup play gets underway today. The first match will be hosted by Mexico, and that's going to take place this afternoon. This is SRN News.
Health insurance rates are surging in America, leaving millions without affordable options. If you're sick of having paychecks eaten up by healthcare costs or dealing with mega corporations, then listen to this. Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills. There's no enrollment period, so you can join anytime. And you aren't restricted to provider networks, so you choose the doctors and hospitals you want. It's that simple. CHM is not insurance. It's a ministry that puts faith into action. Feel the difference of financial support and biblical care from fellow believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. Summer officially begins in 10 days, but we are deep into that summertime pattern. Today, I've got the high temperature up to about 94, mostly sunny, very humid again. Today, tomorrow, and over the weekend, teasing that triple-digit level on the heat index. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. And I've got the rain chances generally 20% or less today and tomorrow. Mostly afternoon and evening hours. And over the weekend, we'll take the rain chances up a notch. Maybe 40% Saturday, let's say 50% Sunday, 60% Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has joined other AGs in a 14-state coalition that is now asking the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to place the drug mifepristone on the list of contaminant drugs. Mifepristone is one of the primary drugs used in inducing a chemical abortion in a woman. The coalition is arguing that the increased use of mifepristone to conduct these abortions will contaminate waterways once it is flushed into the system. Mifepristone is now attributed to 63% of all abortions that are being done in the U.S. since 2023, after the landmark Supreme Court ruling that allowed for many states to prohibit the physical abortion being done at clinics. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A device was found at Big Creek Lake that has been identified as a fragmentation grenade. The grenade was found by divers during a dam inspection that occurred this past May. Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch confirmed the finding of that grenade while he was on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile. Birch says the grenade has been down in those waters for some time now and was not part of a current or active effort to blow something up. The Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs has appointed its first female coordinator to head up a new program that helps women veterans throughout the state. Andrea Searer will be officially instated into this position this Friday. She has served in the U.S. Air Force for 26 years. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man, well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio. So, I just came across this today, and it's interesting, all right.
What is it?
I mean, just the weird things you find on X. Yeah. The bar tab of a 1787 farewell party for George Washington, the man of the century, is still intact.
That's amazing.
The founding fathers, get ready for this. The founding fathers drank 54 bottles of Madeira, 60 bottles of Claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider. That used to be more popular.
Hard cider, ale and cider was,
12 bottles of beer and 7 bowls of alcoholic punch. That's a lot of alcohol.
They were drinking wassail.
There were only 55 attendees. Now, let me go back over that. There were only 55 men.
Men could drink back then.
54 bottles of, essentially over 114 bottles of wine. 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 of beer, and 7 bowls of alcoholic punch. In September 1787, just before the signing of the U.S. Constitution, George Washington attended a farewell gathering in Philadelphia with fellow delegates of the Constitutional Convention. What makes this night memorable is not just its historical significance, but the surviving bar tab that documents the staggering volume of alcohol consumed. With only 55 men in attendance, the tally reveals a feast of indulgence. By today's standards, the sheer quantity seems almost unbelievable, averaging more than a bottle per man.
They were men.
Before considering the punch and beer. Actually, it's not that hard to believe. Back when I was really drinking,
I can put it away.
How big are these bottles?
The bottles are probably 8 to 10 ounces, I would imagine, maybe. Jar size, maybe 12, 16.
Well, it would be like, there's Clark passed out in the corner, but he did drink it.
Yeah. And the punch you're talking about was called wassail, is what they drank. Wassail was they used rye whiskey and ginger and some apples in water juice, and they would chill it, and they served it all around the entire time Congress was in session and Senate. There was always a punch bowl with alcohol when they were on the floor.
That's pretty
Could
awesome.
you imagine that? That's why some of those guys were really good orators.
And apparently this extravagant send-off was not unusual for the era. Alcohol was a central feature of 18th century social and political life, often consumed at levels that would astonish modern observers. Taverns and banquets were places where ideas were debated, alliances forged, and trust built, fueling not only camaraderie, but the revolutionary spirit itself. The farewell party's surviving record gives us a rare glimpse into the daily lives of the Founding Fathers, reminding us that these men, though monumental in history, were also human. Fond of celebration, fellowship, and raising a glass to their new nation. Madeira wine was George Washington's personal favorite, and he often ordered it by the cask. By the cask. I like that a lot.
Hey, if a little's good, more's better. Too much is just right.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Mike the mechanic. This is enough to make you want to drink.
Okay.
Has anybody noticed the mentality of the Alabama State Department of Transportation?
They're destroying my roads out.
What are you talking about in particular?
85 and their construction.
Yeah.
They are so smart. Let's just close the highway down in the middle of the day. Give somebody a detour that leads nowhere.
Oh.
Worse
Yeah,
yet.
because they were working at night to strip a lot of the pavement, and now I saw the signs as I was driving this morning. They're like, we're going to close a lane in the middle of the day?
Yeah, apparently we can see at night with the asphalt muncher, but we can't see how to put it back on. So anyway, y'all, yeah, that's all we need to say about it. I just needed a vent. I appreciate y'all.
Well, go get some beer, man, when you get home.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Actually, whiskey is probably better.
Yeah,
for you.
whiskey. Anyway, let's go to line two. You're on there. Who's this?
It's David Grimes. I had a question. How much was the bar tab? Did I miss that?
I don't think there was an amount given on this one. I'd imagine, and at that time, that'd be, these are rich landed elites.
Yeah.
They were probably, money was no concern.
That's why it might have been $10,000. You know,
Easily.
All right, just curiosity. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
It would have been worth it, though.
Yeah. You got to wonder, too. Also, and people are pointing this out in the comment section, water was often polluted.
Oh, yeah.
And so they caused dysentery and cholera. And so alcohol was a ready substitute to stay, quote unquote, healthy.
So the idea that Ulysses S. Grant, William Tecumseh Sherman, Philip Sheridan, Ashley and Breckinridge, these generals that served as dragoons and as cavalrymen in the West in the pre-war of Northern aggression, in the actual Republic Army, there was ideas that these men were alcoholics. Well, it's because they didn't have clean water at a lot of these posts. They drank whiskey and beer. I mean, it's the way it was.
Yeah. By the way, did you see this German fella that's making his way through Alabama because he came for the World Cup game at the Jordan-Hare Stadium?
What's he doing?
And I'm looking at a beautiful shot. He says, "Good morning from Mobile Bay, Alabama.
Oh, yeah,
Our road
so-
trip towards Houston continues. Everything goes to plan. We're making it to New Orleans today." But he, in particular, was blown away by the Buc-ee's.
Yep.
He was blown away by the coast in particular. And I have to say, having spent a lot of time down there, a sunset or sunrise on the coast
I love Mobile.
is, and for me, it would be more like Orange Beach, Lillian, Alabama, like I'm more near the Florida side is where my dad's at, not far from Pensacola, but it's still in Alabama. And it's just, there's something truly remarkable about that
Robin
area.
takes pictures whenever we're at my mom's down in Mexico Beach, and she gets the best, incredible pictures just where it's going over the horizon. It gives you a kind of perspective on your fit in the environment, you know.
Oh yeah, no, and I think there
You like
are folks like 1819 News did a whole write up on this following this guy's accounts. The European mind can't comprehend this. German soccer fan takes in Argentina Iceland match at Auburn's Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he stopped at a normal gas station. But had all sorts of comments. I love Americans. We were about to walk an hour to the stadium in the rain to save on an Uber, and the receptionist at the hotel we parked in front of decided to drive us there. Saying, "Hello, Auburn." And I love seeing this because, I spent 4 years there.
Absolutely.
Beautiful spot. And he says, "This is the craziest stadium I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of ones. This is the most. This is the post that went truly viral. 101,000 likes alone. This is the most. The European mind can't comprehend this moment of my life. One of my friends said, "Punch me 5 times tomorrow, and I'll still think this isn't real." Because they had, and I'm looking at Jordan-Hare with a soccer field layout.
I bet it looks neat.
And like, but if you've never been to Jordan-Hare Stadium in particular, or any major college football stadium, it's probably
impressive.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the clubs over in Europe, the soccer matches are something to behold.
Listen, they are.
Like, they really are. But that, to me, it's some of the stadiums are great, but it's the camaraderie they have over there and how intense they are. But like when you go to like an open air like Jordan-Hare Stadium,
it's something else.
Especially when you're looking at like the sunset, which they were. I mean, it's breathtaking. It is. I wonder if they did the Eagle, because that's another thing where that'll take your breath away.
Man.
When the Eagle does the circle and fly over. Yeah.
I got some pictures of me with the Eagles when me and Kent Davis and his wife and Robin went. They came right down, and Kent's the mayor. He knows everybody. Admiral Davis. They're like, Admiral Davis. Here, we're holding them. Yeah, it was great. It's cool.
Yeah, no, and then the light show the stadium now does, which is pretty
it's really
nuts.
impressive.
Yeah, he was just blown away by fireworks going off. Like, just what an experience. Did a night tour of the Auburn campus.
That's so cool.
Went by Toomer's Corner, the lemonade store there.
Yep.
Man, that's bringing back drunk memories. Seeing that right there through that German man's eyes. Little Italy's right down. We get some sloppy pizza and like $5 pitchers. Woo! Well, and the night we won the national championship, the Cam Newton year, my apartment was only a few blocks away, and people just started pouring out of apartments.
I've heard this story.
Oh yeah, no,
They
and it
said
was just
like this one big
a crazy night, and a Korean woman kissed me, and it was just random, like no language barrier stopping us.
We're national champions.
And then I think it was at Bourbon Street. It was a Beatles cover band, pretty good one too.
Really?
And I think I blacked out after they played Revolution.
I thought you were going to say you had to get your rickshaw and run off and take people.
Oh, that was before the rickshaw, or I'd given up the rickshaw at that point.
You needed to, because you needed to be partying for that event.
But this guy's reaction in particular to Buc-ee's is hilarious. And the Auburn Buc-ee, I mean, they're all about the same, but like the Auburn Buc-ee's, you pull up and you're like, dang, this is glorious.
If Quentin Tarantino had a truck stop, that would be it. It's just like, it's kind of strange, you know. No trucks allowed, but anyways.
And took a picture of the statue,
Very
but then decided to go to the southern part of the state. And he said, I've been in all sorts of places in Europe. The coast of Alabama, the Gulf Coast, is something to behold.
It is. It truly is.
Truly unique place.
I've been to the Riviera. I've been in the Mediterranean and Greece and in Italy, and the beaches are nothing like crystal white sand. They're that gray kind of pebbly.
Well, and especially when you start getting the Spanish moss and like that territory of like where you see a lot of that.
Annabelle.
Truly, truly beautiful. And it's a best kept secret. Don't tell too many people, but this went really, really viral. You know, like tens of millions of people saw this online, not more.
When Hurricane Michael destroyed my mom and dad's condo down there, it was so quiet and quaint down there. And now since everybody's found out about Mexico Beach, and now it's like blowing up. It's kind of sad.
Though I have to say, being a local, like it is beautiful, but the coast, man, you better put sunscreen on. You just get cooked and leathery. Number one, and in the summer we're heading into right now, as we start getting to July, especially,
so brutal.
The humidity with the heat is unreal.
The yellow flies,
and you forget about the salt factor. The closer you get to the ocean, too, just on you, on the cars, on all sorts
everywhere.
of stuff. So it's a beautiful place. It's a great place to visit. My dad loves living down there.
My mom does too. Yeah.
But I don't know, it's a different culture too. Than so much. I think the Gulf Coast that stretches across Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana,
redneck Riviera
into Florida, it could be its own country even.
It kind of is if you think about it.
Yeah,
it's L.A., Lower Alabama, right?
Well, it's even lower. It's something about that coastland where there's a lot more partying. There's a little more live and let live.
It's redneck Riviera.
It's a lot more Catholic in a
it's
lot
very
of ways.
Well, listen, that's why I like Mobile. It's such an ancient history there. It predates
oldest
New Orleans.
parish in Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's fascinating spot. But again, I mentioned this earlier in the week. It's cool to see when foreign eyes actually go where, places I have a lot of memories in Auburn, Alabama, and they're blown away by it. And you're like, yeah, it's a pretty great spot.
And,
Good reminder.
and the Germans are very tough. The Germans are very tough critics of, like, when they did Seinfeld and they were airing Seinfeld, they ran Seinfeld for 6 months in Germany and they hated it. They were like, we don't get the humor in it. It's they kind of, there's a cultural rift. So for him to say this is incredible at Auburn, that's very cool to see that. Yeah.
Well, it's a great city.
It sure is.
It's been built up. It's very different than when I was
It
there
truly is.
from 2007 to 2011. Very different. Like they've taken out a lot of trees, which made me sad.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of old trees around all those old apartments
I know.
that they've now built up. More parking's needed. A lot of the dorms have gone sky high.
Listen, it's crazy. Every time I go over there, there's more apartment buildings being built. I mean, it's huge.
But then the food there is
Yeah.
in particular fantastic.
I love the hotel that they got.
Great
there.
restaurant.
Yeah, with the restaurant, because the hospitality, I guess, department runs it. It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to meet the
Aricia, I think?
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, they used to do a pasta night.
Oh,
It was cheap. And it was cheap because they were using it to train students.
Right. It was really
run a
good.
line, cook mass amounts.
Right on.
And it was delicious.
Very much so.
Yeah, a lot of memories there. But yeah, I got an aunt and uncle that live there now, and they love it. They retired, moved from Montgomery, left Montgomery, and after being here most of their lives, and retired there into Auburn, and they love it.
That's good.
And yeah, it makes a lot of
Schools
sense.
are good there. Everything's good
Schools
there.
Yeah, it's a nice cool spot.
Now, what's the difference though between Opelika and there? I hear there's kind of like politically there's a division between.
I don't know the latest.
Some of the business owners I've talked to said they don't care for Tiger Town. And there's just like all this.
Yeah, I don't
in
know.
playing
I haven't-
in playing.
I haven't paid that much attention. If
I'm
I
just
go up
curious.
there, I go up there to see my family and eat.
Yep, I got you.
That's about it. I haven't been to a game in a while, basketball or football, but you can watch on TV.
Might want to go this year. You got a new coach.
Yeah, maybe.
I heard he's doing well.
Well, whenever somebody offers scholarship seats, I'll be there. Those are good seats in that arena. No, there's not a bad seat in that arena, but
No, there's not. There's not.
I will say Jordan Hare's, I don't know if they've changed it. Like I've done the experience where you're down close to the field, like good spots, but those bleachers you sit in, man, that's not good for your butt.
It hurts. Yeah.
But then the last time I was there, I went to the Iron Bowl and got, I guess they were scholarship seats.
Yeah.
Not like a box.
Yeah.
But area with your own individual seats
Yeah.
that's new and free food.
That's nice.
And that was the game where it was Saban's last Iron Bowl where they
Wow.
won at the last second.
That was
I was like, what a game. Because I did not expect Auburn to win. And I wasn't even that mad when they lost. I was like, heck, I'm just glad I was here for this one. It was epic.
That was a great game.
But yeah, it's
You got good memories,
it's a
man.
special place there. Very special place. Cool to see, even if it is European football, soccer.
Football. It is not. It is soccer. Who's playing there, by the way? What teams are playing there?
Or it was who Iceland and Argentina played there.
Okay, they did
Yeah.
play there. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
And I don't know if there's more planned.
Yeah, I don't
later,
know what
but-
they. Yeah, I don't know what the. I haven't really looked carefully.
It's been a while. My brother's really big into
Soccer.
the Champions League.
Yeah.
In particular, the Premier League. He's what is he? I think he's an Arsenal fan. No.
Really?
Wait, no, not Arsenal.
Manchester
Liverpool.
United.
Liverpool, I believe.
Ooh. I want to insult him with Manchester United. Then.
Yeah, and he actually got to go and over to England and go to a game.
When I
go to
was
a
in
match.
when I lived in Italy, Naples has a second tier team there, and people get stabbed and killed at the games. It's a big deal over there.
No, and then
The
he
riot.
found when he was living in Greenville, he found a bar where there's a bunch of folks who are Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
And my little niece had just been born.
That's cool.
And, but old enough to go out, daddy-daughter day, and
Daddy-daughter
had
day.
the little bassinet with him to carry around. But, like, the first time he brought her to the bar watching the Liverpool match, they scored, and everybody around him started just yelling, "Goal, baby! Goal, baby!" So she became an instant
The
hit.
goal baby, man.
And, like, you got to
She's
bring
a
that
good luck
baby
charm.
back.
She's a good luck charm, man.
Anyway, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. It's 334-272-9228. Now, the Steven Spielberg movie's
Yeah,
coming
I
out?
know. Robin asked me, "What is this thing?" I go, "This is his new movie." She goes, "What do you know about it?" I go, "It's involving aliens." That's all I know.
Now, this guy, Father Dan Rehill,
Father Dan Rehill,
I think is his name.
Okay, what's he?
He's an exorcist, I think,
Ooh,
in
cool.
Tennessee.
like it.
Now, I have to say, though, from the characterization of this clip, there's a lot of perhaps. There's a lot of ifs.
Okay.
A lot of ifs in this clip. So I don't know if I buy this guy. But just because somebody's got a priest collar on doesn't mean they're correct about
He's got
stuff.
a little Antichrist symbol up there. What's that thing?
Or that's
Is
like,
it his brand?
No. This is the video we made. It's essentially suggesting maybe Spielberg is serving.
Well, I
the
saw that, but I
Antichrist.
just wondered what that little icon is up there.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a podcast.
It was put on there by whoever made this video.
The Antichrist.
Anyway, let's listen.
Tomorrow, there's a new Steven Spielberg movie coming out called Disclosure Day. And he said something very odd. He said that this film will shake the faith of many people, or have people re-question their belief in God and their religion. First of all, I think perhaps he underestimates most people's faith. But second of all, why would you make a movie with the distinct outcome being people's faith would be shaken or lost? That seems very much like something the Antichrist would do, or Satan. That's been his game since the garden. Try to strip man from faith in God and then have man lose his place in heaven. So, I don't know. He's been shaking the alien tree for probably 30 years now. I don't know when E.T. came out, but I'm guessing it's 30, 40 years ago. And other movies, including, I forget what the other one was called. He's been in this realm for a long time. So this is going to be another one.
Yeah. I don't know. It's somewhat reasonable.
It's his opinion. I mean, he just
I saw the interview that Spielberg did, and I saw another review saying that this is just kind of a last hurrah of a boomer who's always been interested in aliens.
Well, first of all, he's a Juden. He's Juden.
Yeah,
he's a Jew.
Yeah.
So he's the one who he put Christ to death.
Well, I think we all did.
The Pharisees and the Sanhedrin are the ones that have the blood on their hands. But we're just God-fearing Gentiles, Joey. That's all we are, God-fearing Gentiles to them.
Yeah, I don't like that, man.
You don't like that term, do you? That's what they call us, huh?
No, like
God-fearing Gentiles. No, I'm a Christian.
272-9228, 334-272-9228. We got to hit a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
I'm Bradley Ehrlichdahl, and I'm asking for your vote June 16th for Circuit Judge Place 5 at Tauga, Chilton, and Elmore counties. I'm a 20-year veteran of the trial courtrooms of Alabama. I've served you as an assistant district attorney. I've served you as the municipal prosecutor for the city of Prattville, and I've continued to serve you as the municipal judge of Millbrook. I've defended the most difficult and serious cases before judge and jury. I've been serving this community for 20 years. Vote Bradley Ehrlichdahl, June 16th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Bradley Ehrlichdahl, 131 Hunts Alley, Prattville, Alabama, 36067.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. 5 reasons to get a home inspection before you close on a home. Homeowners buying their first home or their 10th home still need a home inspection performed. First, you will find out firsthand the true condition of the home, the age and state of the heating and air, the roof, electrical, and plumbing as of the day of inspection. Second, it may give you the ability to renegotiate repairs that the seller will end up paying for before closing. Third, if the results show that the repairs would be too costly, then you can opt out of the contract without losing your earnest money. Fourth, the age and state of the systems will indicate what shape the rest of the house might be in and give you the option to opt out of the transaction or renegotiate terms. Fifth, knowing what needs to be done to the house will allow you the opportunity to update the home properly to your taste. For a list of the best home inspectors in the area, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 334-221-2883 or 551-0225. The Goodson Group.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment Lane, Summerdale, Alabama, 36580.
Hillary! Hillary! I'm really feeling my pain. I sure could use a 5-point plan right now.
I'm Christina Warner McKinnis, and we all need the 5-point plan for Alabama farms and families. Better food security. They should be able to buy Alabama rotisserie chicken with SNAP benefits, not margarita mix. Guide more farmers to the millions of dollars in grants they deserve. Protect our farmland from China and promote sweet-grown Alabama for tourism. We need more Alabama food on the plates of our schools and home. It's time to tell the politicians in Montgomery, same old is not working for us.
Christina Warner McKittis for Agriculture.
I haven't asked the big guy yet, but I have a feeling he'll like the plan.
This 5-point plan is huge, very special. And believe me, I know the 5-point plan. And all the other 5-point plans are horrible, probably made in China.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
PSC Equipment and Farm Supply in Raymer always has the best sales, and David's at it again with the Tag It and Take It sale. Saturday, June 13th. Load up those trades and bring them with you to the one-day-only mega event. PSC will offer special one-day clearance prices on tons of new and used equipment and implements. Mini excavators as low as $49.95. Mini skid steers starting at $39.95. Quality utility trailers from $17.95. Good Guys cattle trailers starting at just $79.95. And those popular 500 series poly fertilizer spreaders with the stainless steel spinners on sale for $7.99. Tractors, trailers, equipment, attachments, even warehouse products like seed, lime, and fertilizer will have a Tag It and Take It price. The Choo-Choo Food Truck will feed you, Tony Mills will sing for you, and David Steeless. One day only, Saturday, June 13th. PSC Equipment and Farm Supply, 21704 Troy Highway, Raymer, right near Sykes & Kahn.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment Lane, Summerdale, Alabama, 36580.
Hillary! I'm really feeling my pain. I sure could use a 5-point plan right now.
I'm Christina Warner McKinnis, and we all need the 5-point plan for Alabama farms and families. Better food security. They should be able to buy Alabama rotisserie chicken with SNAP benefits, not margarita mix. Guide more farmers to the millions of dollars in grants they deserve. Protect our farmland from China and promote sweet-grown Alabama for tourism. We need more Alabama food on the plates of our schools and home. It's time to tell the politicians in Montgomery, same old is not working for us.
Christina Warner McKittis for Agriculture.
I haven't asked the big guy yet, but I have a feeling he'll like the plan.
This 5-point plan is huge, very special. And believe me, I know the 5-point plan. And all the other 5-point plans are horrible, probably made in China.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. Your chance of encountering an evening shower tonight is not 0, but very small. Otherwise, very muggy in the overnight hours, low temperature in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, another mostly sunny, hot, and humid day. Rain chances 20% or less. I think the heat index will be teasing to triple-digit levels tomorrow and over the weekend. We'll take the weekend rain chances up just a notch to maybe like 40% Saturday, 50% Sunday, 60% by Monday. This as a frontal system approaches. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Big dreams for your home on a tight budget? AFE's $26.26 as you covered. Unlock your home's equity with just $26 in closing costs. No fees, no headaches. Visit your local ASE branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 420259.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back.
I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy had to scoop. So 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 272-9228. It's the number Papa B dialed. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Sitting around blocking spam calls.
Nice.
I keep thinking that I can, like overcome the power curve or something.
Mm-hmm.
And sooner or later, they'll stop trying to call. But I'm telling you, there are a lot of numbers out there, Joey. I can't out spam. I can't out block them. They just keep on coming.
That sounds like cope to me because I've had the same cope or hope. like I've been there.
Yeah. Well, what can we talk about today? There's so many things.
Oh, yeah.
We could talk about the sorry spectacle I saw in that Carmela Anthony case when a guy was found guilty of plunging a knife into another man's chest and killing him. And people apparently were upset that he was found guilty.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as sorry a spectacle as I can think of, but, I'm not going to talk about that today. But since you have Troy there, let's talk about
he
the
had
Iran war.
he had to go. So
No, Troy had to go. Well, we'll talk about it with you.
Yeah.
So it looks like Trump has kind of gotten tired of waiting.
looks like it, though he paused the strikes again this afternoon.
Well, maybe he's sent a message and they're responding, but I don't know what have any hope in these folks or not. I think as soon as the pressure lets up, they start scamming and scheming about, their best position and holding it forth and not really making a deal. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think it's perhaps because you don't have leadership there. It's all broken. The command and control's kind of shot. The people who seem to have been negotiating with Trump and team don't have the leverage or power to actually follow through with any promise they make, and the radicals do. So I have a sense that, more people are going to end up dead, and eventually you'll end up with the more moderate folks running the show. The issue is, how long does this take? And he's trying the start again, stop again approach, even threatening to take Carg Island and all this stuff. But I don't know. I'm not hopeful that it gets wrapped up immediately, though. I always have Trump in the back of my head said, stop chirping. Everything will be fine. Just sit back and relax. It'll work out. It always does.
Yeah, I have some faith in Trump and his ability to, go ahead and get a deal of some sort. I think you're right, though. Who is he going to get a deal with? There's nobody there that can make a deal, really. But I'm sure they know more about all of that than both of us ever will. So surely, what are we going to put, Rubio in charge of Iran too? I don't think so.
Right, and that's the issue you're facing is like, who do you actually have somebody that can step in and run the place with the IRGC and so many other of the radicals still around?
I think that's probably what you really get is the radicals are the ones that keep on trying to, sit there and screw around with things. They don't like. Well, I mean, they're ready to die. They want to die anyway, don't they? Don't they want to just? I mean, in a
they say
glory,
that.
isn't that there?
They say that, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
It is also interesting how like the higher ups are always like wanting poor, easily impressionable people to go be martyrs.
I like Troy's idea. If you're gonna kill them, put some chitlins on them. Make sure you sprinkle with chitlins when you do. Maybe that'll send a message to the rest of them. I don't know, something. But anyway, I thought that he was going to go ahead and do something more. Actually, I was expecting more, but I don't know. I guess we will see, as Dan Morris once said, in the fullness of time, my boy.
Indeed, we
All right,
will.
sir.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bobby. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hello, my name's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Joey. How about yourself?
Good.
I really enjoy listening to your show.
Thank you.
But I wanted to commend you about the statement you made when your guest was there with you. I'm assuming this is the person who is talking about it was the Jews that crucified Jesus. And I want to commend you. You spoke right up and said, well, I think it was all of us.
Yes.
And I agree. I'm on your side on this. And I don't know. Well, just come on out with it. I don't see how a saved person, a true Christian, in other words, somebody who has a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, could have a belligerent spirit toward the Jews. You know, Joey, the entire Holy Scriptures, the Bible, was written by Jews.
Right.
And the Bible also says there's no difference between Jews and Gentiles.
Right. Even Jonah is sent to go save the Ninevites.
Exactly. And the vast, overwhelming majority of the world, they do not have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. That goes for all nationalities and all people.
Yeah, but I think somebody could have I'm almost with you. I think somebody could have a personal relationship with Christ and still be belligerent and still be mistaken and not, still go astray and be mistaken, especially on something like theology.
That's a great words of wisdom right there, Joey. I concede that, but what I really mean by that, the Holy Spirit guides every true believer into all truth. And I can see where you could grieve the Holy Spirit, not listen to the Holy Spirit, not obey the Holy Spirit. But anyway, yeah, you're a wise man, Joey, and I enjoy listening to your show. And and one more thing I wanted to ask you. Have you ever thought how the name Israel sounds a whole lot like Israel?
No, I hadn't thought of that when Jacob was named that, but that's pretty.
Thanks for taking my call, Joey.
Appreciate you. Thank you. 272-9228. Yeah, it's someone these days spending a lot of my time in meditative prayer, let's say. And often those meditations focus on the life of Jesus, especially when you think about the Passion. Where I've been guided is when I see Jesus sweating blood in the garden, asking God the Father to take this cup from him, take this cup from me. Like, I'm the one who's weighing him down with all the awful things I've done. That perhaps I'm in that drop of sweat, or actually that drop of blood that is falling to the ground of the garden. And when we walk through the whole Passion, and I won't do it here now, but when you go through the scourging and the crown of thorns and the carrying of the cross and the crucifixion, when you really sit and think about these things, one of my main takeaways is it's just astounding the amount of love that was shown. Astounding. And there are some theologians who have said you have to even take in moments like the scourging and stuff, Jesus is still in charge of that situation. He knows he has to do this, has to enter into suffering and death and torture and humiliation, all this stuff, in order to break it, in order to set us free from, say, Egypt again. So it's not just the love of going through that and willingly going through that, knowing what was coming. But another main takeaway is it was to get rid of the scapegoating. That so much of human society is organized by those other people over there are the problem. And though there is always truth to that to a certain degree, it's the half-truths that get you in trouble. Or truths told with bad intent that get you in trouble. And so and there are many takeaways, my main takeaways is I can't blame any one particular person. I guess you could blame Adam, if we're being honest. But you know what I mean. I guess you could blame Adam and Eve. But the whole idea is I have created such a superabundant, perfect, loving sacrifice that if you accept me, of course this is Jesus, if you accept Christ into your heart, then you can enter into the gate, through the gate of heaven, and into that glory that he showed throughout his ministry, into that glorified body he shows to on the tall mountain in the transfiguration, Peter, James, and John. The mysteries and the wonders we can't even imagine. Because of that sacrifice of love is such a perfect sacrifice. And he did it for us. If we accept him, well, we're forgiven and made right. That said, there are a lot of different types of folks that reject that. And maybe they don't explicitly reject that with their lips. Some do. Some people just don't believe. But even there are a lot of folks who say they do. And in one way or the other, they reject that. But there's always hopes. In so many of the examples in the Gospels, whether Peter himself denying Christ 3 times, or Thomas doubting that this is the risen Lord, or how many demons did Christ exorcise out of Mary Magdalene? There's always hope. That said, it's interesting as we become more vocal about our Christian faith, and it starts to intermingle with our worldly fights here on earth. And, you know, it's not like you can't have these fights. It's not like you can go just be a monk in the woods somewhere. These battles, these struggles, these trials will come, and in a way you should thank God for those trials and those struggles. But it's interesting to see if they say the old ways are coming back, the sort of modern dream we were all living in for the last, say, 100 years. If a lot of that is cracking up, it doesn't mean it's always just going to be sunshine. I've never been one who's, loves the idea of the prosperity gospel, that if you just believe everything will work out. No, I think I'm much more in the camp of if you are a Christian, you'll often have trials because you are one. And not just trials from other people, but all sorts of things that will be thrown in your way as stumbling blocks. Anyway, it's fascinating to see all the recapitulation, how we're all being brought back together with Christ as the head. And what we should do is hopefully not be the, who's the true Christian game, though there is room for that to a degree on, basic truth. It's not my truth or your truth. There is the truth. But there should be some hope and prayer again, even for those that, well, sometimes they drive us crazy, right? Our opponents, our enemies. called to pray for them too. Anyway, didn't expect to get into all that. But 272-9228. In fact, Josh Ryder, Leslie Ryder, they're sponsoring this part of the program. Dylan Rings there. And Dylan Rings, I love the custom design work they can do, as they were talking about on Facebook today. They can recreate old family heirlooms that were maybe even lost. So you can maybe have a photo of your grandmother or even great-grandmother, and they're wearing a beautiful piece of jewelry, something you always remember them wearing, but it was lost. It happens. They can recreate it. It's truly remarkable what he is able to pull off. But then I went over there, did custom design work, and I particularly wanted him, as the Catholic bishops are consecrating the country, the nation, President Trump putting out a message of prayer as well as the bishops do this, but consecrating to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And so for some reason that image, that icon, and more than an image or an icon, but the actual beating heart of Christ that is living and active in the Word. I was like, well, if I'm going to put something around my neck or near and close to my heart, I want it to be that. And what I love is that Josh Ryder heard me out. Josh the jeweler was able to, sit down with me. We workshopped, exactly how we're going to make this work and costs and stuff. And the final result, I'm over the moon about. He did a fantastic job. And by the way, the plan is, so I didn't feel too guilty for spending money on myself, is to give this thing away one day, to give this heart away. And I don't mean that necessarily romantically. But when the time is right, I kind of made a vow to myself, I'll know when somebody who needs a little encouragement in their faith, or maybe it's somebody I deeply fall in love with. The whole idea is to give it away. And that's the beautiful thing with jewelry. Like, you can't give a tattoo away. You can't take that off your skin and put it on somebody else's skin. But with jewelry, well, you can have it as something special to you as a keepsake, but you can pass that keepsake down. And if you're looking to make new keepsakes or refurbish old ones, maybe if you go through a spa treatment, they've got all sorts of repair things, all sorts of great treatments there at Dylan Rings. Check them out today. That's 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fell on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
We're talking with Dr. Clark McLemore at McLemore Dentistry. Implant Day coming up on Wednesday, July 29th.
This will be the third year that we've done Implant Day. It is a phenomenal opportunity for big savings and a lot of fun, actually. Most people don't associate the dentist office with being fun, but it is a fun day. We have a lot of giveaways. It's a great opportunity to come, talk, let us see what kind of solutions are available, and save a bunch of money.
Book your spot today. Call 277-9570 or visit drmclemore-dentistry.com.
Hey there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. Our partnership with Blue Water Broadcasting has reached thousands of listeners in the river region. People listen, people call. Now there's mortgage savings for us all.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I'm great, man.
Hey, first things first, Dad did not have a stroke on TikTok.
Okay.
Okay. Emma and Sailor wrote the script to try to make him sound like he's a 14-year-old. And that's the best he could do with it.
No, I'm watching it. I was wondering if I was having a stroke.
Yeah. Wait till you see the next one. She got him to do a dance. It's awesome.
Oh, wow. Man, what granddaughters can do for grandfather.
Dad told me, I came in today and he looked at me and said, I thought I'd never ask this question. When is she going home?
That's fantastic. She's ruining my reputation.
Today. I'm asking the same question. I love you, baby. When you going home? I need my house back to normal. I need quiet. I'm so tired. But hey, now I have a hard time telling this child no. So for Father's Day, she's wanting to put a giveaway, $100 gift card to Longhorn that we'll give away next Friday. You have to go on Facebook to see the rules. Don't ask me. I have no clue. She's doing this. And so, yeah, if you want to win a $100 gift card for your dad, go look at our Facebook page.
Does Prattville Carpet on
got
Facebook?
The rules up. Yeah, we're on Facebook.
Nice.
I have nothing to do with it. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever even looked at it. 'Cause I'm not on Facebook.
Well, that's too.
Are you keying it in? So, yeah, Joe, you can register too, even though we advertise with you. You're not going to win, but you can,
Yeah, I
you
was
can do
about
it.
to say, well, I would have to gift it to somebody, but folks, yeah, get on by the Prattville Carpet Facebook page, win that gift card. That's a pretty generous gift card. And folks can still always call you at 285-8117.
They can. And we are here. I'm actually closing, so I'll be here till 5:30. Tons of great prices still. Thousand things to look at. Stop in. We'll let you take some samples home. Come out, give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down.
Just that simple, folks. Well, I appreciate it, Ray.
It's good talking to you guys.
Later. Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Joey. Thanks for taking my. Listen, I feel like a nut. I've been looking at your pendant that you've had now for a little while on the YouTube, and it's a beautiful thing. But it's Sacred Heart, and for some reason, the red and the gold trim, I thought it was a McDonald's large order of fries.
Yeah, I saw you comment that the other day.
Yeah. And so I guess if you find a girl with ketchup, and you're right, you're right in the world. You're there, man. A little salt, a little ketchup. Oh man!
Now, my luck, I'd find a lady with a ranch. I guess we're down home, ain't we?
Well, that's what I was about to say. We all see what we want, what we really love, and I see fries. That's it. I'm about to get out of the house and go to try to me up some of them good fries. Thank you, Joy.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
Sam.
sir.
Well, that was a jovial note to end on. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budel's next. I believe David Blackman, the man with that very big brain. Man from Texas. David Blackman should be joining Greg. And, Friday's tomorrow. Isn't Friday tomorrow?
I believe it is.
Okay. Yay. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour is next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.